Thought crimes. Thought crimes. Thought crimes. Thought crimes. Thought crimes.
Warning: the Federal Communications Commission has determined the following content to be emotionally harmful. Snowflakes should not view this content under any circumstances, even if supervised by a G.I. Joe, Navy SEALs, Army vet, or someone with good common sense. The views and opinions expressed, including the depictions of persons of color, corrupt politicians, white people with or without a tan, haters who have yet to brush their teeth typing angrily in the comment section with hot breath syndrome, do not reflect any official policy or position of the U.S. government. This program contains graphic language, dark comedy, unique intelligence, creativity, a high credit score, and high blood pressure when triggered. This program has also been accused of racism, violence, misogyny, mansogyny, feminism, MGTOWism, defacement of celebrities, and of course, being a bully. Welcome to Thought Crimes.
What's up? What's up? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Thought Crimes. This is your girl, Sincere, and I'm here with...
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your man, P. Solo Prince Solomon, back in the building once again. Good morning, folks. Good morning, people in the think tank. Also, can I get a sound check? I just want to be clear before we continue here.
Was y'all able to hear the intro?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear our voices now?
Hey, man, don't have it falling apart like a PTA meeting, all right? Y'all
also,
let us know.
Super chat early in the morning. Thank you, KJ Forever.
God. Oh, man, shouts out to you, by
Good
the way.
morning to you as well.
Thank you. We appreciate you, KJ. Shouts out to you, too, by the way.
Also, we got Brandy King in the building.
Kane is in the building. All right. So you guys know what time it is, right? I hope you guys are doing well. Either heading to the job, heading to the college, heading to the university, heading to the school, the temp agency, or if you're just standing at the bus stop and like, man, I need $1 more to get up on this.
or if you're on vacation.
Or if you're on vacation, all right? If that's the case, then unplug from America, all right? I'm going on vacation. I'm not looking at no American news. All right, but shouts out to you guys sliding into the chat too, by the way. Folks, we got some things to talk about. Two of the culture's favorites, Dr. Dre and Raekwon, went Silicon Valley fully. Now, we're going to take our time and have a breakdown concerning this, and then we're going to get further into the Nolan Wells situation as well, no pun intended. But yet we're going to talk about
Carmelo
this.
Anthony. And also the
Nolan Wells, Carmelo Anthony.
And
Go ahead,
Caruso and the Caruso curse.
Yeah,
Michael Caruso, by the way, if you don't know,
go ahead, so you can break that down.
Was one of the men who signed a anti-Semitic bill in Florida with Governor DeSantis. Come to find out, Michael Caruso was molesting young boys and possibly molested his grandson. He's in jail right now, awaiting trial.
It's always the damn Republicans. All right, matter of fact, let's just jump into nasty ass Mike Caruso at the beginning. All right, y'all know how I am. I don't like to lead too far into the stream with the disgusting stuff. All right, because y'all got to get out of here on a high note. Y'all got to leave the church happy. All right, but they're putting out here questions. Let's go ahead and get into it real quick. I'm gonna run this back. Also, by the way, like Sin stated, Mike Caruso, prosecutors cite guns, past violence in bid to keep Mike Caruso jailed ahead of the child abuse, all right, trial. Now, if you guys recall, Mike Caruso was another clout chaser out here. It's always these people that mess with children that are trying to restrict others.
Well, Michael Caruso is a part of that set who's pro-Israel. Like Prager, that's having these weird thought processes about children, and also a sexual assaulter towards children. Dennis Prager said he didn't see any issue with child pornography in AI. He says AI child pornography is fine because it's a victimless crime. Then you have Michael, and also Dennis Prager, also with PragerU, advocated for black authors to be removed in Florida. And also for Black history to be retarded. You are a Jewish guy. You should focus on your own history. I don't know why you trying to think you have any type of authority over Black American history, but he believes he does in Florida, and they did give it to him and grant it to him. Then you have Michael Caruso, who was a big advocate of Israel and against anti-Semitism, and he was right there, sitting there next, nice and close with Randy Fine and with the governor of Florida, and now he's in prison because of a lot of heinous crimes and allegations towards him, like trying to give children snacks and candies to sexually molest them, and again, molesting his own grandson.
Disgusting. But he looks like it, though. I'm going to be honest with y'all.
I agree.
He looks like it.
A lot of the...
Because, y'all got strange people on the job. You're like, yo, something wrong with Buddy. All right, but go ahead, Sin.
No, I agree. He looks like it to me.
Yeah.
I'm already guilty.
Guilty. Like, lock him up. All right, again, let's go ahead and move on to Florida politics. Shouts out to you wonderful Floridians, okay? Unfortunately, this is how we have to bring your state up. All right, here, prosecutors cite guns, past violence in bid to keep Mike Caruso jailed ahead of child sex abuse trial. All right, prosecutors argue that Caruso is a flight risk whose ownership of multiple firearms also raises concerns.
I agree. I think he's a high-level threat.
Right. Okay. So this is another violator from Spawn. I hate to tell you guys, but your government is kind of ran by a bunch of violators from Spawn. All right. State prosecutors want to suspend Palm Beach County Clerk Mike Caruso, who's being held behind bars until he stands trial on child sex abuse charges. Argue it, no bond arrangement could keep the public safe. They says keep his bitch ass behind bars.
Again, great move.
Right.
I don't believe he should be get any bond as well. I think he needs to
got
stay.
his mouth open.
He needs to stay behind bars until the trial.
Yeah, let's get him out of here. So statewide prosecutor Rita Pavin Peters made the case in a motion filed Thursday, the same day Caruso entered a plea of not guilty. Orange County Circuit Judge Barbara Leach, who drew the case, is scheduled to take up his detention this coming Tuesday. Peters' motion contends that there are no conditions of release that would be reasonably sufficient to protect the community from the risk of physical harm, according to the Miami Herald. What they're saying here is that it doesn't matter what measures you take, he's a flight risk and he's a danger to the community. And, I second that emotion. Prosecutors offered several justifications to support the conclusion, citing 2 or more assault rifles Caruso owns, an account of past violent behavior, and a comparable 2013 complaint in which he was accused of touching a minor's shoulders and legs. He's a repeat offender. A habitual line stepper is what Mike Caruso is. Now, keep this in mind. Again, this is one of the many wonderful pillars that Ron DeSantis had championed for as well. All right? So you got to keep that in mind with the whole organization. You know what went on with the Epstein files. And again, that's a bipartisan event. Mike Caruso, if you have not had a chance to see what this crazy gargoyle looks like. I mean, he's a wild-looking character.
There are a lot of Palm Beach sexual offenders, though.
Yeah, I get what you said.
I mean, and they do have a hub. I mean, you got one person talking about AI, child pornography is fine.
Yes.
You have another person who was touching kids. You got Jeffrey Epstein, what we reported on in 2015, 2016, having his Palm Beach real estate, and y'all already know what he was.
If you're running your own business.
All right, go ahead, Sin. You can continue.
So, I mean, these people, they're disgusting, and you would see. I personally think there should be plenty of RICOs to go around. You see the Epstein stories dying down, and people are trying to move past it. Even Woody Allen right now, he's feeling very good and comfortable. He just got, I think, $14 million for a film to be made. And Woody Allen has been around Jeffrey Epstein for a very long time, even after he was a convicted pedo. So I think right now, some of the people who were in the Epstein files, they're starting to feel more confident again. Some people are like, well, it looks like, the coast is clear. Woody Allen's making movies again. But yeah, that Palm Beach area, very disgusting people. A lot of people be over there doing a lot of disgusting things.
Well, let's see some here real quick.
Clerk of Court Mike Caruso.
All right, let's go ahead and you tap in with Florida real quick. Let's go.
Suspended Palm Beach County Clerk of Court Mike Caruso facing a judge in Orange County today following his arrest earlier in the week on charges of child sexual abuse. The judge ordering him to be held in jail without bond. Investigators say the alleged victim is an underage relative of Caruso's who lives there in Orange County.
Investigative reporter Terry Parker joining us now in the studio with the very latest on this. Terry?
These are serious charges facing one of the highest-ranking officials in Palm Beach County. Investigators say the alleged victim was under 12 years old when the abuse happened. And we've learned Caruso has been accused of sexually abusing a child before by his ex-wife in a contentious, years-long divorce. But he was still able to be appointed to his position by the governor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Also, to be clear, that's Governor DeSantis. All right, that's Governor DeSantis, who's concerned with CRT studies
and DEI.
We can't let her just slide past that. All right, and make sure y'all let me know if there's any echo too. By the way, I've been working on this audio for a moment, but y'all let me know. But yeah, I want y'all to understand that Governor DeSantis. Okay, that's why I said realistically. These folks, they kind of set this thing up to, it's running how it's supposed to. That's why when they're like, oh, we don't want to discuss black issues, y'all can hire pedophiles.
They got a lot of pedos.
On the left and the right.
Ed Buck, big pedo too.
All right. So I'm going to run this back because, she Tootsie slid her way out of that one. Let's run that back one more time. All right.
Caruso has been accused of sexually abusing a child before by his ex-wife in a contentious, years-long divorce. But he was still able to be appointed to his position by the governor.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you state your name, please?
Michael Allen Caruso.
All right, Mr. Caruso, you're here for initial appearance. You wish to waive reading of the charges?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Those charges, including kidnapping, lewd or lascivious molestation, and child abuse causing mental injury. Caruso was extradited to Orange County, where the alleged underage victim lives. Meantime, court documents reveal a disturbing past. Caruso filed for divorce in 2012. Caruso's ex-wife filed a counter-petition to Caruso's petition to dissolve the marriage, writing, "The husband has severe emotional problems, which consist of anger, rage, and a history of physical and emotional abuse of one or more of the children." In early 2013, Caruso firing back, his attorney writing, "The wife has intentionally orchestrated and caused a false sexual abuse case to be filed and pursued against the husband, accusing him of sexually abusing," redacted, "the wife has full and complete knowledge that the allegations are not true." The voluminous court case paints a picture of ongoing strife between the couple, which both claimed was traumatizing their children.
And I'm sure your attorney told you to have no contact or attempt to contact any victim or witness in the case.
Yes, Your Honor.
In the current investigation, court documents revealed the alleged abuse lasted for about a year and escalated in August 2025. That was the same month Caruso took office as Palm Beach County Clerk of Court. Despite his arrest, Caruso's name remains on the November ballot for Clerk of Court in Palm Beach County. Governor Ron DeSantis immediately suspended Caruso after his arrest and swore in a new temporary clerk. Caruso has denied the
So he swore in another lizard. Let's go.
Whoa.
Go ahead, Sam.
But he also hasn't officially removed Michael Caruso. So DeSantis is trying to be sneaky. That's disgusting. He should be removed completely. The fuck you holding on for?
Let's see if the lizard's going to be able to cut its tail and get away.
Caruso's ex-wife reportedly also filed a Delray Beach police report against him alleging child abuse. It's unclear what happened in that investigation, as we're still waiting to get a copy of the report. And it's unclear if these allegations surfaced when the governor's office was vetting Caruso for Palm Beach County.
You know it's clear. Stop it. Stop it. It's unclear. Did these allegations surface when they were doing a background check on him?
It's clear.
Like, come on. Hey, we didn't know. We didn't. Yeah, we don't know that. Well, somehow we missed it.
I agree.
Stop it.
This wasn't even.
If he had a 300 credit score, y'all would have found it.
This was very hardcore on his record already. They just ignored it on purpose. Let's go.
All right. No, that's it. That's it with the little simping here. Again, criminals looking out for criminals. All right. That's just the way it is. They know damn well that he has, and it looks like here, they know damn well he had been found of that. So it seems like, honestly, he's been a repeat offender, and he was a part of the club. Mm-hmm. This is country club antics. That's what you see at the country club. All right, when they're not letting you in the back, that's what they doing back there. That's the country club antics.
Well, that's why I don't do respectability politics. People like black people got to be this, that. Like, shut up. Black people don't got to be anything. You trying to prove yourself and self-worth amongst a bunch of pedos. You like have some dignity.
It's country club antics. Mike Caruso, disgusting individual. Let's see here. Let me see if I can pull something else up real quick. You can continue saying.
Are you gonna pull up what DeSantis speaking on it before we go to the next topic?
Let me see what his old punk ass. Because I told y'all.
Well, in the videos, he's trying to seem like he's stern. And if these allegations are proving to be true, we're gonna throw the book at him.
Yeah, them broke back boots. I'm telling you, that's another one y'all better watch out for. Wait till his scandal comes out.
Andrew Gillum boots.
Yeah. They cooked the black nigga because he got caught.
But with an adult.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, that's the best you can get out of politicians. The best you can get is them being sleazy fucking men and women and doing coke and meth.
Yeah.
The worst, they messing with kids.
All right. Let's see what the big-eared monkey got to say here. You know, because let's see here. Come on. Let's see what this albino monkey got to say. Let me see if I can put this volume up. Here he goes.
Some of the allegations date back to 2024 before you appointed him to Palm Beach County Clerk of Court. I'm curious what the vetting process was like before you appointed him, and did you or any member of your administration receive any information about conduct or about this conduct for the child?
Of course not. He had a clean vet. He was well regarded in the community. There was a lot of people that wanted him to be appointed to that position. And there was none of that information that was in any of the vetting materials.
Also, just to say this, at worst, the monkey here knows what happened. At the best, they didn't bother to double check anything because he's not a nigga.
That is a good point.
Okay.
They are racist enough to be they were focused on Jason Arday. Let's go.
Yeah.
The state was the one that initiated this investigation. State law enforcement did it, and the charges were brought by the statewide prosecutor. I think you'll probably have a local prosecutor get involved, maybe in Miami-Dade going forward, but they worked very diligently on this. It's obviously horrific crimes, but it's also tough to build these cases, and so they've worked very hard to build a case that could withstand the legal system. But once they were willing to go and pull the trigger, on the arrest, obviously it was a very easy decision for me to yank him from that position.
Yeah, it's not tough to build a case. Y'all build it all the time against rappers. Come on now, stop it.
And one of the things that we've done better than any state, we're the first state to reintroduce the death penalty for pedophiles. And I'm proud that I signed that into law, and I'm proud that we have very strong penalties for people that abuse children. And if he's convicted, he is going to be in for a world of hurt.
Oh, okay.
All right, if he's convicted, we expect you to put him on to
put him in the electric chair. That's what I expect, monkey. I'm gonna get him out of here.
DeSantis do look like a monkey.
Hey, like an albino monkey. Every time I see him with them gay cowboys.
Also, Lord said y'all make the best content, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you so
You
much.
know what? People be using content so much. I'm about to change up the word.
What you about to switch it up?
I don't know. I'm gonna switch it to something else.
Switch it up.
But we appreciate you, Lord.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. We try as much as we can. And again, if a lot of times you guys may not see us being as active on YouTube, we still upload things. We still got some other little joints that we're going to be doing for y'all. A lot of times, folks, y'all can find us on Patreon. All right, we do a lot of uploading on Patreon. Some people be like, damn, y'all wrote another article? Damn, y'all recorded another audio clip?
We
got to service y'all.
Last year, when T.I. said
yes,
that Dr. Dre was using AI and convinced him that it was okay. We had an article on it. We talked about it on the Patreon. We have a podcast on it. We talked about the people behind it, the tech bros behind it. Also Jimmy Iovine. People are not saying Jimmy Iovine's name enough with Dr. Dre. Both Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine both think this way, and they were both in the New York Times article pushing for the AI with producers and music.
Yes.
I just want to make that clear because people are only talking about Dre, but they're not bringing up UMG, Lucien Grange, or Jimmy Iovine in all of this. But last year we were surprised while everybody was banging on other rappers, like no one was talking about Dr. Dre last year in 2025. On December 30th, 2025, when we, did a podcast on it on our Patreon exclusively. we talked about everybody who was behind it, and it wasn't talked about. So I guess because of that, I'm making the guess that because no one in hip hop media said anything about it last year, I think Dr. Dre felt like, okay, I can stick this landing. The problem was his delivery. This is his Jay-Z "We Passed Kneeling" moment. I mean, and there's no excuses for him because he didn't say, this is where AI can go, but these are the dangers of AI that needs to be held accountable from the tech bros. What he said was what Prince has up here on the screen. Only people who see AI as a threat are those who have trouble creating. And this is another issue I have. A lot of the people in the music industry who are for AI are people who had allegations of stealing a lot before. Dr. Dre has a lot of fraudulent energy around him that people don't want to talk about. Plenty of allegations of stealing beats and productions from other people, including some people who he had a close relationship with. So it's not surprising to me or to Prince that he's not bringing this up. Prince and I are not all the way against AI technology. We're against the fact that right now it's stealing and theft technology. They haven't come up with anything unique. There are some programs where it can add to artists when it comes to scaling, basically, not art design. You got to come up with your own illustrations and your own shit. But like when it comes to the color palettes and different things that AI can be used for, and also in the editing process, it can be used as an editing tool. But here's the problem. OpenAI with Sam Altman, Anthropic, many of them are just straight up just stealing from people who are creators who have no issues with creation. And for Dr. Dre to sit up in here because he has investments in certain companies and because he wants to move on with the tech bros, for him to sit up here and act like people don't have valid criticisms of the tech bros when it comes to AI technology is ridiculous.
Well, okay, so I think I'm gonna tell you this. All right, so here's the thing. My honest perspective about Dr. Dre's comments on AI. 2 parts. Look, if you are a very creative person, man, it don't matter what they throw on the football field. You says, man, move out the way, coach. I'm gonna eat it up, right? That's how I think a lot of times. Like, I mean, I don't really care, you know. If you whack without AI, you're going to be whack with AI. You know, it's just what it is, okay? The other side of it, though, where I feel a lot of people just in general with technology or just in culture and, you know, in its scape, I think where people are making the fallacy is this. People are assuming that this is exactly comparable to when the drum machine showed up, or to when, like I brought up, you know, on our Patreon, when digital artists begin to take the reins. They begin to use Wacom Cintiqs. They begin to use digital displays. People weren't just using, you know, mixed media sketch paper or things of that nature. They begin to draw on these digital tablets. And even in the sequential comic book art community, you had traditional artists who have been drawing on paper since the 80s, you know, and they're looking at the new guys like Michael Turner. They're looking at Jim Lee. They're looking at Todd McFarlane, what he did with Spawn. They're looking at Image Comics. They're looking at Dark Horse. And they're like, bro, what are y'all doing? And the guys are like, no, we're just doing something different where we don't have to spend as much money, because back in the day, making comics really cost a lot of money because everything was just done by hand. Well, the reason why this part is a little bit different. Are there possible ethical means of some, you know, modules actually being created in a way that it could work? Yeah, but most of the big boys right now, the Sam Altman's on the block, the Elon Musk, and the people that are tied to NVIDIA, dog, they had copyright infringement. They had digital scraping, and I think the issue here with where Dr. Dre's mindset drops off, or where the fallacy meets the road with this conversation surrounding creativity, is that when we talk about the drum machine, you know, at least when the influx of drum machine came in, at the very least, you know, there was a conversation about sampling. Remember, there was a controversy about sampling. James Brown once said, look, man, I don't mind what they doing, but y'all stealing my work. There was a real conversation about that.
Because they were.
And
but if you had
what they had to yes, sir?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. What are you about to say?
No, they were stealing his work.
Oh, yeah. No. And so what I'm saying here, the conversation with Dr. Dre, this is not about whether people are struggling with creativity or not. This is really the real conversation concerning AI is the theft of creativity.
Yeah, it's
that's
free.
The conversation. It's not about whether your neurons or your synapses, whether you had lion's mane or you're born with a special creative gene that you can just come up with things on the fly, or if you're running into an artistic block. That's not the center of the conversation.
He's scamming.
Okay, conversation is about theft.
He's scamming.
Okay,
just like Russell Simmons with the rush card scammer. You have a lot of people from the West Coast and the East Coast hip hop media machine. They scam 24/7. Snoop Dogg scammer. Dr. Dre scammer. Jay-Z scammer. Diddy scammer. And a lot of people in hip hop media are going to have to get over the fact that people y'all looked up to are just fucking scammers, and they do not give a fuck about the hip hop community at all. Because AI right now, it is free labor and it is theft. That's what they're doing the majority of the time. We already broke down how Anthropic was taking books from obscure people and destroying those original books so people don't have access to it. So you don't even know if Anthropic and Claude, they come up with something. Because the book is something that most people in society never read, it's so fucking old that they could get away with doing things like that. Even Amazon just joined in with it. So Dr. Dre does feel the one part that I do agree with on the business end, Prince, because he's not the only one, so I don't want to scapegoat him like he is the only one. Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, and the rest of them, they're doing this because they see the white guys and Jewish guys doing it. Like, look, I want to get in. Amazon with Jeff Bezos, is people going to take down Jeff Bezos? Is people going to take down Sam Altman? Or the people behind Anthropic, and the CEO, wife of Anthropic, by the way, had ties to Jeffrey Epstein. She was begging him for money into some porn site she wanted to create. So these guys, like the Diddy's and all of them, that were already following whatever these white guys do, they're like, we want in. I mean, like, fuck all of y'all.
Yeah, they're feeling like Christopher Walken in King of New York. I want in.
Yeah, they want in because
in.
They believe that Sam Altman is going to be successful. They believe that Elon Musk is going to win. They believe that Jeff Bezos is going to win. Depending on what happens with Zuckerberg and Meta, if he's able to survive these court hearings and get off scot-free, they believe these guys are going to win, and that these men, despite their predetermined, their disgusting history, the fact that most of them didn't come up with the technology. At the end of the day, Raekwon, Meek Mill, Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, and the rest of them, they believe that these guys are going to win, and they don't want to be left behind, even if they have 1% involvement. They want their team and their people to be that high tower, 1% rare mirage that are at the very bottom of this pyramid scheme. They rather be at the very bottom of this pyramid scheme than to not be involved at all.
Well, and again, I want to just really, have our pace, and we'll open up some calls a little bit later on, because look, and we're going to get to Raekwon, so we're going to section that one off too, but it does tie into this though. And this is from, and Raekwon, a lot of people, they were surprised, but Sin and I, we have told you guys over and over, a lot of your favorites in hip hop, they typically run with everybody, and they mostly lean ideologically to the right and far right. And again, Sid and I are not Democrats. We're just telling you all from the conversations we've heard behind the scenes. We've heard a lot of crazy stuff that you like, man, you thought that came out of a white man's mouth in Alabama.
Thank you to the people also on X who brought that up, Prince, that we were the first hip hop platform to talk about the alt-right and the alt-left taking over hip hop. And back then, years ago, when we broke it down, like, People didn't see it, but we're like, they're
right there.
They're right there.
Yeah, they're right there. And the reason why I want to divide this particular conversation, because Dr. Dre is the perfect messenger. And the reason why I say he's the perfect messenger, because it triggers a level of subconscious alertness and cautiousness that people didn't have with Tyga. When people was rallying against AI, they was 100% Tyga ain't doing nothing. NLE Chopper with his mama wig out here in these streets, he ain't doing nothing. They went in with the other one. What's the Mexican? The Flex, that one. He run around. It was easy to have those conversations.
Well, we coined it as moral bullies. Prince and I talked about it on Patreon. A moral bully is someone who only bullies people they don't like. So if you don't like them already,
it's easy,
and then they do something wrong, then people dogpile on them. But let's see if people got that same energy with somebody they praise, or somebody that they really like, or they're infatuated with, which is what a lot of people feel towards Dr. Dre.
Well, just to say this, and I feel like this, whether it's Tyga or Dr. Dre, they can do whatever they want. My thing, though, first of all, even with Dr. Dre's AI, I mean, that we ain't gonna hear it either way. It won't matter. He ain't gonna put it out, right? The other side of it, though, I think people they're making this a creativity conversation. Yeah, that is true. Again, just like I said, Jim Lee, whether he's in front of a digital display or he's on a traditional sketch pad, he can draw with a mechanical pencil, a big pen, a marker, or whatever, felt tip, whatever the case is.
But that's not
artists, skills are skills. And that's not the conversation. The conversation is not about whether you're able to create anything despite these technologies existing. The real conversation is that we have whistleblowers dying that were tied to Sam Altman's company. We have people that have had their careers wrecked that say, hey, there's large levels of copyright infringement going on online. And those are the conversations that people are having. So for Dr. Dre to come out and try to give us a nigga Steve Jobs TED Talk about creativity, I think, to me, that's a spin machine, and the financial backers that would be behind them. And like I said on the Patreon, when I read this, I read the article, sitting down, we both read it. I said he's speaking like an investor.
Yeah, AI is the companies, they're stealing. I want to make this very clear. Stop fucking lying. Dr. Dre, Jimmy Iovine, Lucien Grange, UMG, and UMG just partnered with Udio, which ironically, Udio had found itself involved in the Kendrick and Drake battle in 2024 with the BBL Drizzy track, which was created by AI. The problem is not people who use, or the aspects of AI that can be used as a tool, which it can. Again, we have Film Time, we have Ghost. There are a lot of people that we know that use AI, and we knew a lot of people who were already using AI even in 2023 or before, the more it became even mainstream. But what they have behind the scenes, and what Prince and I have been studying, they already have it to make AI podcasters. They already have AI radio stations.
Yes, they do.
So they're getting this stuff from stealing. That's the point that Jughead, Mr. Thickneck, don't fucking comprehend. Dr. Dre is the face of something he doesn't comprehend, and he is a liar. No one is scared of AI in the right hands with the right type of scaling if it can be turned into an editing tool, which it can be. It can absolutely be. The problem, though, is the majority of AI companies are stealing. They're stealing people's music. They're stealing people's movies. They're stealing people's books. And everybody knows this to be the case. So when you come out here with We Pass Kneeling and you say the only people who see AI as a threat are those who have trouble creating. Sir, even before AI came out of here, you was being accused of stealing. So we know you don't care about the whole thievery stuff. Most of you industry people don't care. Y'all only bring up integrity in the culture when you want to go after somebody you don't like. This is what people like Dr. Dre even does. But the moment when he's called to the task, he got all these things he's hiding behind. Like, no.
Yeah, it's just a
People who knows what it is.
Yeah.
We've already covered this for years now, and then even recently. So far, the AI companies haven't even gotten slightly better.
No.
They are still stealing. And Sam Altman, I'm sorry, he's an evil shithead. He's an evil shithead. He's a scammer. He's trying to figure out a way because he's not great with building products. Now he's saying, maybe we're going to turn it into a platform because, he feels like that's the way to go. But
and remember, I talked to you about that. No, you're on the road. I want you to keep going. Remember, I told you, and I said, watch, he tries to make into a social media product placement platform. And I said this 4 or 5 years ago. I know these are spaces I'm always in, and I'm going to be honest with you all. Like, you put a rapper in the room with a bunch of nerdy white boys that like Wu-Tang or they liked MF Doom. These rappers and producers will believe in them like Jesus.
Even when they get robbed on some fire festival with Ja Rule. That's why I don't. Yeah, we definitely don't follow no rapper.
No,
I mean, you think I'm gonna follow a rapper when it comes to fucking technology when they don't even know what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
they are there to be the face to like mainstream something and to sell everybody out. That's just what it is.
So they can, they can roll them out here 100 times over. It just ain't the market. And the way the phrasing of Dr. Dre's language, it shows me two things. Number one, he's an investor. Okay. And I have always been seeing this, particularly with the elders of the Gen X class, the peers of the Gen X class, the higher ups of the Gen X class, most notably Jay-Z in his chase to become Jay-Z, Sean Gates, Bill Gates. I've seen that.
Rick Rubin.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of these guys attempt to pattern themselves. They want to be Kanye West. I want to be Steve Jobs. Jay-Z, I want to be Bill Gates. And then so forth and so forth with the likes of Dr. Dre. He fits right into that architect too, right? And so that, and actually I get it. In the 90s, in the early 2000s, which is the preeminency of their careers, Dr. Dre's is a little bit earlier. He extends into the late 80s, even in some cases the 70s. But the 90s, in the early 2000s, is the culture of selling you the concept of the billionaire. Just like today, they're trying to resell you the same concept by way of a lace front South African with the trillionaire. So they always give you these dangling carrots. And one thing I said on the Patreon, I said that, people like Dr. Dre and Jay-Z, they are golden carrots to keep people reaching in the culture, even if it's in the wrong direction. My honest opinion, the conversation is going to get trapped and marginalized to whether or not somebody's going to be creative. And that's not the case. I can be creative 2 million times over. But if I have dark entities backed by dark power groups and dark think tanks, that their job 24 hours a day is to go online and data scrape everything we do right down to the pornography, right? Then it's a lose-lose situation. So in this conversation, the reason why I am so thankful for somebody like Dr. Dre saying this publicly, I always tell Sam these are beautiful moments because it shakes the spell and the curse that hip-hop has over a nation. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of beautiful things I love about hip-hop. But a couple things hip-hop has brought into this particular statement of what we call culture: thievery, devaluing skill, hacky shit, right? And the wigger, all right? Without hip-hop, what would we do without the wigger, right? So with that being the case...
Oh, don't skip past that. No, even in hip-hop media, biting is rewarded.
Yeah,
niggas will see somebody copy almost to the exact T somebody's same talking point, somebody's own original creativity, somebody's own show setup. Like it's very desperate, right. It's very thirsty, and it's like it's basically on steroids of what we see a lot of white men do, because they were stealing. You remember even in rock and roll where they were just stealing music from early the originators, black rock and roll creators, and just biting up their songs and redoing it and all this other crazy shit. And because rap has now been completely colonized by white and Jewish guys, they take that concept on steroids, where we're having black people try to do that to each other in hip hop media and in hip hop music, period.
Yeah, and the reason why, like I said, I love it. I appreciate Dr. Dre for saying this shit so much, because it breaks this Tinkerbell effect over hip hop. Like when people are like, you know, we fighting to maintain culture in hip hop. What is the culture? It's biting. It's ripping off. It's sampling. I can say something right now. Another person who claims to be a part of real hip hop media will repeat exactly what I just said, and they would not think nothing of it. It's literally the only genre that does this. You get what I'm saying? And the reason why Dr. Dre is very important for you all to see this, so y'all can understand, get your head out of these people's assholes. Get your head out of their ass. They got bills to pay. People be bankrupt. People don't know where to put their money. They don't know where their money is.
They be partnering with people who literally have plans to. Thank you, Landmark, also for the super chat. It's not hip hop, it's hypocrisy hop. That's a great title for it.
I like that. You might want to go ahead and trademark
that. Trademark that from another hip hop media platform. Steal it. No, that was a great point though, Prince, because these people are partnering up though with white and Jewish men who want to erase black people from certain cities. So the West Coast industry will partner up in hip hop with guys who want to erase black people from California. Same thing when it's the East Coast. If you're talking about even New York, you know, even with Jay-Z, or even with people like, Diddy's in prison right now, but also Russell Simmons. Like they have this weird obsession with partnering with these people, while also being naive enough that these people won't get rid of them when if the time suits them, because most people thought that Diddy was so a powerful middleman that he wouldn't even end up in jail, and here we saw it. We all saw it happen.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. And I just wanted to say that I know people that cutting up on. I think it's a great moment. Hey man, this is fantastic, bro. Hey, if we can get these niggas to stop being lost niggas, all you lost tribe niggas out there that y'all heads are so far up these people's asses, that the reason why I'm for it, because I saw the Tinkerbell effect of 2024. Bro, I kept it on the matter. We investigated some allegations here and there, but we moved on. But we got people that are still stuck in the Tinkerbell fairy dust. And remember, Dr. Dre, one of his strong points is his silence, and that he's seen as this musical sage. It's not to take away from his qualified skill set, but it's also important to see for the culture to see its hypocrisy. So the reason why I give you an example, we said it during the battle. Okay, hey, I think Drake's tailor-made track, we thought the shit was funny. I said, but there's questionable ethics, approaching ethics concerning Tupac's vocals.
Don't use the Tupac vocals. Yeah, he's not alive to say you can use my vocals on AI like Snoop Dogg can.
And Mopreem Shakur, Tupac's living brother, came out and said, hey, that's not cool, right? And so everybody agreed. We moved on, right? Then,
Snoop Dogg is now using AI Tupac.
Right, and Snoop Dogg
to sell wine and shit.
Now Drake, here's the thing, because it's already here. Drake was tied to a voice cloning tech firm. All right, so whether he might have been a partner or early investor, that could be a possibility. I don't know, right? But nonetheless, though, for the most part, the Canadian was repudiated concerning the usage of AI. That's until BBL Drizzy came out.
And then everybody enjoyed AI.
Everybody, international free. We had people from Japan.
BBL Drizzy.
Right? So, yeah, so with that being the case. You want to say
the company? It was from Udio.
It was from Udio.
Udio is now partnered With what company, Prince?
UMG.
Yeah, so UMG went
Yeah.
from suing them to now they're in partnership.
I sue
And
you into partnership.
Guess what? They're doing AI trademarks.
Yeah,
So even with the Dr. Dre thing, I want to make this very, very clear. He should get cooked, but I'm going to still bring it up. Why are there people not doing thumbnails or not making videos of UMG? Why y'all still scared as shit to talk about UMG? Y'all was all on UMG's dick and nutsack in 2024. You have Lucien Grange and UMG and the execs behind UMG who are literally creating AI trademarks with Udio or Udio, however you want to pronounce it, and with other AI companies. And once again, people are not multitasking and talking about the entire umbrella corporation.
Well, because the white guys, their spell work doesn't work in the forefront the way the existence of the talisman of the Negro, like Dr. Dre.
You said,
Okay.
yeah,
black people.
Stone?
Yeah, black people are talisman. We come into the room, it's just there. It's just what it is. You know, Jimmy Iovine can come in, forget his pen, walk back in, forget his muffin, and walk back in. And there are going to be people walking around that don't care.
Yeah, Jimmy Iovine was,
right?
If y'all read the New York Times article, Jimmy Iovine was right up there bumping his gums too, saying, yes, about everything that Dr. Dre was saying. Even Jimmy Iovine said, yeah, it's like what we appreciate Timbaland.
Yeah, and the thing is, in Timbaland and Dre, they've been running around for a while since they was dissing Jermaine Dupri back in the day. But the reason why this is good, because it gives a chance for you guys to see what culture you actually don't have. There are no cultural guidelines.
You worshiping
right? What
Abaddon.
are yeah, you guys don't. There are no cultural guidelines to any of this stuff. Writers, non-writers, sampling versus stealing.
Y'all worshiping Beelzebub.
Yeah. Like what are the guidelines? There are no guidelines. You get what I'm saying? All it is cult talk. People make up rules in this shit as they go along the way. You know, I had 2 photos up there with the same accusations made against Drake. I said, well, they can be argued against Cardi B, and you had people cut up about it. And I said, see, it proves my point. Y'all make shit up as y'all go along.
There's producers right now who are working with AI right now in their production that are connected to artists that y'all still praise and love in all music genres. Yeah. It will be interesting to see how the hip hop media audience react when that one comes out.
That's why
but
I
we
said,
got a super chat too, Prince, by the way, after you finish your comment. Go ahead.
Well, that's why I said, Sin, I am very, 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 very happy that Dr. Dre's brown jumbo egg-shaped head came outside and said this. This is the type of stuff that will dictate to you all the authority of the guidelines of the culture. Also, shouts out to Innovator J says, damn, so the labels doing the AI companies, how they did the streaming companies. Oh, let me pause you right there. Innovator J, you're very sharp. Because here's the thing.
This is a
lot of the
guys, black man here in the chat.
Yeah. A lot of the guys, a lot of the scragglers that came out of the streaming culture, the streaming technology, right? And the boys that didn't get a chance to really make it, or the ones that made big money in the original stream race, right? Remember, Silicon Valley, whether people know it or not, on one side of it, technically it's a rust belt. They haven't been able to really pioneer anything. That's why they're betting so much on AI. But just to put this like this, they always give you some sort of tech race every few years. It was a streaming tech race, right? Streaming services. Then it was about NFT and crypto tech race, right? Now we're here with the AI tech race. And what you will find is the same officers and generals and soldiers have visited every war. So to the point
and they
that you saying,
they exploited the NFT thing, just like you see how they oversaturate the Kendrick and Drake conversation. Industry oversaturated NFT and they fucked up the technology. Mm-hmm. It will come back again eventually, but yeah, a lot of scammers fucked that up.
So like she said, but a lot of them from the NFT space, they're now triggering another race for you guys. So yes, and for the people that say, well, I will never you listen to any AI. Folks,
already have.
they said about 3 to 4 out of the 5 songs you've heard on the radio have had some sort of AI assistance or was AI generated instrumentals, beats, whether we're talking about horns, whether you're talking about brass instruments, drums.
Charlamagne gonna get all these black podcasters to be on the Black Effect Network, and then he gonna sell it to an AI company, and y'all stupid ass is gonna be, your shit gonna be data mined as well. But
shouts out to him. He says here, sue them, then settle by buying into the company. Yes, a lot of industry sharks do that. I sue you into a partnership.
Well, also, or I sue you for you to be out. Here's my conspiracy. Where's the Illuminati button?
It's budget cuts in.
Sir Solomon.
Go ahead.
The people who aren't a part of the Blue Bloods or a part of their networks, when they sue them, they buy them out. The Asian guy and the white guy who created YouTube, they bought them out. They didn't become no partner with Google, whatever. They I don't know. They gave them $500 million or something crazy. They gave them a good amount of money, and they just went and bounced because they were two authentic creators. Same thing with the Asian guy who created Twitch. They bought him out and moved on. What's the difference between buying someone out, you give them like $1 billion to leave or $500 million to leave, versus someone you sue and then y'all magically become partners? If you look at the names behind Udio and some of these other AI companies, these are people who've been in the industry for a long time or have great relationships in Silicon Valley. So the ruse is the lawsuit. And then eventually the lawsuit becomes a partnership. So UMG, I'm suing this AI company. Oh wait, we're partners now, and we have united.
It happens all the time
to do trademarks together. It's like Ultron meeting Thanos and merging together with a little pinch of Loki to trick the public with useless, baseless conversation.
That's just a lot of Loki. There's a lot of Loki. And again, while people, people can talk whatever they want to talk. If you want to keep talking about Kendrick and Drake, just like how people talked about Jay-Z and Nas for 15 years, that's perfectly fine. The only difference is the tech and the means of communication. Things move very fast on the web. Tech companies get folded, they get brought up, they rise from the ashes, and they partner. And next thing you know, you have conglomerates everywhere. And then you're under a deregulatory administration. So again, I appreciate Dr. Dre saying this publicly for the culture to look at themselves with their moral bullying. Because frankly, a lot of times, most of the times with hip hop conversations, I don't follow a lot of them because I just see a lot of self-indignant righteousness and hypocrites that at any point in time, half of these people may throw some change at, or they may like a comment, they change their entire commentary.
Most hip-hop media companies are trying to get into this too.
Well,
to put your point, most of them who are being morally righteous, even some of them who created their platforms through the Kendrick and Drake battle from the industry. Yeah. What you said, Prince, they're liars. These are people who are like paid by Rock Nation. They'll always be pro whatever Rock Nation says or do. They throw up the rock sign, or they'll do the same thing with OVO. They'll do the same thing with TDE and so on. And any other hip hop, record label, whatever. They create their profiles. They pick people with weak images who can't sustain like Tiger or whatever. They dogpile those people and sometimes dogpile independent media. And like you said, they use the fake and what we talked about, the fake moral bullying in order to bring in the audience. Look, guys, I'm woke. I'm with a message. The moment you ask them to talk that shit against the people who putting them on, who doing the same thing, quiet as a mouse, or they'll lower the hit like what Stephen A. Smith did to Dana White. Well, I don't believe in hitting women. And Dana knew he was wrong on that. And I'm glad that he took accountability. Go ahead, Prince.
I mean, look. I mean, listen, let's be real, y'all. And this is why it's called Thought Crimes. Look, I'm going to be frank with y'all all the time. And there's a lot of times people think like saying, the language it can be villainous for them or whatever the case. But honestly, it's literally no different than any other space. People are in fear of power, fear of losing power. They want power, fear of never attaining power. Hip hop and the hip hop media space is no different. It's literally no different. I want y'all to see on the screen before it even got to where we were with Snoop Dogg, but a toy company ended up owning Death Row Records. A toy company. All of the hard, dead gangster niggas that got killed either on the record label, having to do with the record label, at the end of the day, they shared the same space with Mr. Potato Head. Which I thought it was a spiritual metaphor because in some cases, some of them niggas were put together like Mr. Potato Head. So, look,
we're not even partnering up with
realistically
independent AI companies from even black people or other groups that are actually not stealing other people's works. And see, so that's the thing. Like, they always try to scam people to think that people are afraid of technology. Get the fuck out of here. Especially with this platform. We love technology. We be on it even a lot of time before other people in hip-hop media in the background learning about these things and all that. It has nothing to fucking do with that. Y'all are just unethical and y'all love to steal. It's just very simple. Y'all do not support companies that don't have copyright issues. You don't support companies that aren't stealing from people. You saw Ja Rule with Fire Festival stealing people's money. He was a con man. You saw all the hip hop and sports community believe in FTX. You saw the Democrats and Republicans believe in the fake Steve Jobs bitch Elizabeth stealing people's medical patents and ideas and trying to act like it was her, and she couldn't come through. And now she's in a Betty Crocker prison along with the same Betty Crocker prison that Ghislaine Maxwell is in.
Yeah, I just want y'all to understand that. And I understand there's going to be people that are going to be upset. And if you have an anti-AI message, and again, I'm not faulting musicians that are speaking up. Musicians are speaking up. The artist community really kicked a lot of things out. That's because Sam Altman, Ellen's son, was a dumbass. He came right after artists that were classically trained or they are self-taught. There's a lot of self-taught artists. I'm a self-taught artist, right? And so they immediately presented the red flag right away. They put their flag on it. The artists, as gang members online, they put their flag on it. They said, "Nah, we're not going to do that." So they start walking all over Sam Altman's rollouts. That's because the tech boys came out originally and said, "Yeah, we're here to replace you."
Who did they start with, Prince? You should bring it up all the way out from Japan. Yeah. They were mocking him. Go ahead. You want to bring that up real quick?
They did what they were doing with Hayao Miyazaki. You had other legendary comic book artists and animators that say, "Hey, what's going on here?" You had, I believe, Aaron Blaze.
And they were on social media mocking when people was like, "Bro, stop stealing their work." Yeah. This is what the tech bros were saying they would have avatars as the original artwork of these creators and say, "Man, shut up. This is the future, bro." Yeah. If we want to take whatever the fuck we want to take, no, bitch. You go learn how to draw some shit. You can't just take people trademark copywritten work and then you're just gonna come out here and just be starting shit, which is what they were doing. For people who missed it.
Yeah, that's how they started off at the beginning.
They were very arrogant on social media, on Facebook, on X, just mocking original creators.
Then when they found out that they weren't stronger than the artists, and I did say this, I said, look, the art community will shut a lot of shit down because the artists cut across all different demographics, sexual orientation, gender, height, skin complexion. They cut across everything. So one thing you do, you unify them on the idea that you're going to be stealing their creativity. Look what they did to Adobe. You guys got to understand, Adobe was looking like that perfect record for a Golden State Warrior for about 20 years until Adobe decided, okay, well, not only are we going to play y'all with the subscription, right, but we also going to data scrape your art. And right now, Adobe is still bleeding.
And also to add to that, it didn't need to be that way. Adobe grew a respectable brand. All they had to do was use AI as a editing tool. They did not have to data mine their own clients. They were the ones who decided to do that. And this is what we're saying, greed. These people are greedy. They're Galactus. Their appetite cannot be satiated at all. They're stealing from every creative source you could think of. They're stealing from. If you're a director, if you're a writer, whether it's film or author, if you're a musician, if whatever you do, podcast or whatever,
they're there.
They're data mining all of it because they want to create these universal all-in-one apps where podcasters cannot be real.
Well,
radio hosts cannot be real. Films could be all the way 100% artificial. But here's the problem. No one would even give a fuck about that if it was you not stealing other people's shit. And I'm not going to say something because I don't want them to try to switch it up now, because I have something to say, but I'm not going to run my mouth because sometimes I run it too much. But I'll just simply say this. You're stealing people's work, and that's why people aren't fucking with you. It has nothing to do with where the technology can go. Stop talking to people like they're dumb. And what thieves love to do in the United States, they love to try to make it seem like you're dumbed down because you're not allowing yourself to get sexually assaulted by your shit getting stolen and taken from you. And then they like to try to talk down to you like you're dumb. Bitch, most of these people who are heading these companies not even smart themselves. They're silver spoon babies.
Well, here's the thing. I think so far we've seen where you guys are going with the technology. Like, I mean, come on. Dead witnesses, whistleblowers, artists that I follow found their name or their signature. Remember, the signature is also the magic of the artwork. It's occultic, it's esoteric, it's origin in itself. There's a soul tie to your artwork with your signature, right? The fact that people then saw their signatures generating some of these images is crazy. So that means y'all soul trapping. So I think the public, the reason why, and I said this early on when they came out and they were like, some of these tech gurus and some of these guys that work with them, I was actually in their live streams talking to them. I said, this is a stupid move. You guys shouldn't attack artists right out the gate. That's going to be dumb. And the guy was like, well, the artists are a little bit sensitive right now. I says, who are you going to sell it to? Do you really think somebody's going to choose your product over their Netflix subscription?
You know what it is, Prince?
Realistically. You have to think about that with those types of things. And just to go to the point, just to say this part of where we're talking about who runs these companies. Folks, these people don't have no insight. These are not artists that run these companies. Steve Jobs had a lot of problems. But at the end of the day, he was an engineer, so he understood design. He understood the aesthetics, which is why overall, early on, Apple products primarily appealed to the art community most of the time. You got lawyers that become executives that say, we got a game plan to artistically approach something.
These are people who are envious of artists.
These are non-artists.
You know how
writers battling non-writers.
You know how failed rappers or rappers who are jealous and envious of other people, and they try to hide their critique as if it's just, I'm just judging this person's art. No, you're jealous and envious of them. A lot of these people who are be like, I'm just going to take from artists and all that, they're jealous and envious because they were never able to do it.
Yeah.
And so that's where the disrespect comes in. These are dorks who aren't creative. And the stolen technology that somebody got killed for is from Sam Altman and the rest of the Gittim. These are people who are envious of people who can direct like a Jordan Peele or
we don't need Jordan Peele anymore,
or a Ryan Coogler.
We won't need Ryan Coogler
or Christopher Nolan.
Don't need him either.
Jealous of people who can make amazing music, or like some Miles Davis or Prince Roger Nelson, or people who can sing like Whitney Houston. Jealous of animators. Jealous of great authors. These are people who never had a real high quotient when it came to creativity. And so their envy is to destroy it completely because, again, from what you and I have studied over the years with all this, it didn't have to be this way. Like,
No,
they'll lie to
just,
you. They did not have to steal in order to advance AI technology. There's so many avenues they could have went with it. They did this on purpose because they like to create chaos and drama.
So for Dr. Dre, this is his Jackie Robinson moment as an artist, as an engineer. Okay. And I'm fine with it. You know, I actually applaud the act in itself because the reason why it needs to be said, because this will help people kind of compartmentalize things a lot better. You know, we had heard that Dr. Dre was already using AI for a minute now. You know, remember, they get their hands on exclusive technology 8 to 10 years in advance. And then it's later rolled out, is repackaged. You know, Dallas Austin, when he was sitting down, again, fantastic producer and engineer, when he was sitting down with T.I., Dallas Austin talked about he was using Suno. Folks, a lot of engineers behind your favorite MCs and rappers, they're already using Suno and UDO. And now with their arrangement skills and their pattern recognition, because that's really what artists are, they're pattern masters. You know, they're able to layer things in a deep, dense, nuanced flavor, as opposed to the average layman. You know, and how Sam Altman and the boys were trying to sell the general public on AI. They were trying to sell and make mediocrity cheap. That's what they was trying to do. They was trying to make it stylized in that process, and you can't really get to anywhere with that because the general public at best, they like novelty items. You know, they like a customized shirt, you know, put my girlfriend's face on my shirt, put my boyfriend's face on my shirt. And then, you know, after a while, a month or so down the line, you don't see the shirt anymore. Maybe the dog pooped on it, they threw it away. That's how customers actually operate. It's actually your skilled professionals that are going to stick to the technology or any technology. But the reason why Sam Altman is in a world of hurt, first of all, he was elevated in a hooker state to that position. He had no special skills himself, so he didn't know how to market to the skill masters.
He's a horrible marketer.
Yeah, he came out and offended the skill masters early on versus what they could have done at the beginning. Let's say you do even have a conversation with Dr. Dre at the beginning of it when they first rolled everything out and have them to have those types of conversations. It's way too late now because they came out talking about they even paid influencers talking about it's over for artists, hang it up, go do other shit. And I said wrong approach.
For every artist that will say no, there's some artists that would have said yes.
Yes.
If you would have, for example, any technique that was created in music, for example, from a particular artist, you could have went to them or the family and said, look, we'll make a deal with you where you're going to get royalties, and every time somebody uses this particular beat pattern, you get millions of dollars. Oh, wait, they don't want to do that because they don't want to share.
No.
See, that's the problem. Let's say there's a visual art technique somebody created that, you know, has been given credit. We know in the history. Okay, well then, if that person wants to make that deal, you could do it. Like, for example, what's the actor who died recently who, with permission, he gave them permission for his voice?
Val Kilmer.
Not just Val Kilmer, it was somebody else, though. It was somebody else who's known for their...
I know David Attenborough has done that, and then the voice actor behind Mario said that they can use his voice in perpetuity.
People can make their own decisions as adults, no problem. And then if customers want to use it for things that they've been given permission, the family's paid, no problem. The problem is at the very beginning, and what Prince and I are saying is very simple. Y'all started this war because you said you wanted to steal, and y'all are still stealing.
The
and
reason why,
that's the
yeah.
only
The
reason
yeah.
why people don't fuck with y'all is only because of that.
yeah.
And Dr. Dre tried to make it about creativity. It ain't about no damn creativity.
No, it's not that. But that was his TED Talk moment. That's his Jackie Robinson moment for engineers
Thank you,
and
Ghost.
artists.
Michael Caine Prince. Michael Caine
the great
as well.
Michael Caine. And this will be the, because we're going to transition to Raekwon, because this ties into it as well. Overall, Dr. Dre, Soundwave, Kendrick Lamar, Snoop Dogg, they can do whatever they want, right? One thing I do know from studying the architects of this industry, and I'm talking about the backers of Sam Altman, one thing that remains ever present is the maintenancing of power. The reason why they attacked artists who were skill masters at the very beginning, we're talking about classically trained or self-taught musician, classically trained or self-taught multimedia artists, right? Because there's a real competition there. Why would you want to sell initially a power leveling tool to the skill masters who could possibly dethrone you? Why wouldn't I sell that to... of course, I'm going to sell it to the jugheads.
No, because
right? Why would I sell it to the Why would I take this technology and market it first to the skill master class that has the possibility of dethroning my mediocre ass?
No, what Prince said is very important. They are doing competition to undercut the skill class because that is true. Look, they've already been talking about people being their own a one-person billion-dollar corporation, right?
Yes.
Who has the leading skill to do that? People who already know how to animate, people who already know how to make music on their own and all this other stuff, right? They would be ahead in creating those first type of $1 billion small group of people company. The problem is that these companies want to be that themselves. They want free labor.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Maintain that power.
So they don't want nobody just coming up easily as billionaires and whatever. You get, let's say, 5 people who are really exceptional at whatever skill that they are great at in entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
They start using these programs without stealing. It's their own shit. Boom. Already outpacing them. Mm-hmm. They don't want the competition, so they cut out those people early and went straight into just stealing their shit.
Yeah, so I want y'all to think about that. I think, in this format where what you're seeing what Dr. Dre is to represent, he is to represent the trademarking of the skilled class or the proficient skill level class as premier consumers. And I'm sure there's going to be probably a Dr. Dre edition level tier somewhere.
To go with his Beats by Dre, to go with Apple.
Right. And because he has a trusted brand as far as the audiophile community goes, but there's a split because there are people that they don't mess with Dr. Dre. And there's a huge portion of the audiophile community that worship Dr. Dre. So, look, that's one thing you have to keep in mind with culture. At any point in time, it can be marketed in the manner that it needs to be marketed in. And I think Dr. Dre as a brand, we're going to see some sort of premier AI engineering, I don't know, Suno class, UDO class, or whatever the case may be, mastering generative AI music engineering. It could be any of those things. But there's a reason why he's outside right now to make these statements. And I'm sure moving on forward in this conversation, his brand will be used in the same way it was to slap it on some headphones. And that's just what the game is, because like I said, I remember because, I'm an audiophile myself. So, I remember having partners let me listen to the premiere edition of Dr. Dre headphones. And I think these were the $300 pair or $400 pair. And I told my guy, I said, bro, you paid $400 for this. All right, that's cool. But I said, nigga, that name he's the Mercedes-Benz of headphones. That's what it was. And I'm sure we're going to see this again. But yeah, no, what I get from this is Dr. Dre is speaking like an investor or a partner. But the conversation is not whether or not somebody can create the real conversation, which has always been the case, has been theft and thievery. All right, we're going to transition here to the one and only son of Tony, Mr. Raekwon, the chef in the kitchen cooking with Alex Karp. All right, so.
Oh, we forgot to say real quick
ahead,
that
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
DJ Quick did come out and he said,
"Oh yeah,
he was not pleased with the whole Dr. Dre situation." And I don't think DJ Quick was ever accused of stealing people's production credits and music like Dr. Dre was.
He actually has a lot of uncredited work, DJ Quick, and I'm glad you brought that up. Let me see if I can pull that clip up. Great point, Sin. Great point on the rebound. Seeing up there playing Angel Reese on the rebound before the transition of the subjects. She said, "Wait a minute, hold up now."
Good recovery, Angel Reese. After being the embarrassing miss on the layup with Indiana Fever. She been cooking on she been on a sensul bean spirit bomb spree ever since that missed layup. She was cooking also recently 31 points. I think like 13 or something rebounds.
Yeah.
Angel Reese ain't playing. I like players who like after something embarrassing happens, they just step it up even more.
Yeah, because people gonna laugh at you. Mm-hmm. All right, here it is. DJ Quick, when they asked him at one point in time, I don't know which podcast this is from, so y'all can let me know in the chat. But this was his thoughts because now for me personally, I think there's some. Look, I told Sin, she laughed at me. I told y'all I don't like the way Dr. Dre rap. Never did.
Deep water.
Yeah, never did. I used to have friends, they were ready to swing. I said, nigga, I don't care. You can swing all you want, nigga. I don't like the way the nigga rap. Right? But when Chronic 2001 dropped, I went and bought the instrumental CD. You know, a friend he said, bro, where the rap's at? I said, nigga, it's just the beats. I just want to hear the beats. But anyway, I've always enjoyed, from an MC's perspective and a lyricist and then producer and engineer, DJ Quick's discography. Then heard all this man's music. But listen to what he says concerning AI.
And then we're going to go into Raekwon, the chef.
It's a total violation of culture. It's appropriation. You can't recreate somebody that's still here doing what they do. Don't use my stuff because I know that computer is not going to have my nuances. You know, that app, that program is not going to be able to, it's going to miss out. It's like it does.
He's right about that because I remember when I heard King Kunta, I kid you guys not. I said, man, them sound like quick drums.
I watch AI programs on YouTube and they mispronounce words. You know what I mean? It ain't ready yet. It ain't human. It just ain't human. Keep this shit human. I'd rather have bad human material than good AI material. How about that?
Thanks.
Yeah, and the other side of
humans mispronounce things too.
Well, I get what
he's trying to say. When you're trying to work on it don't be hitting it directly.
You can't say it's better than me and it can't pronounce words. But also, now to the point, I think DJ Quick is a dope sound engineer, a dope science of music. He actually plays instruments. He doesn't just punch on the keypads. But this is also a byproduct of the quickening of the corporatization of hip hop. The cheap tricks, like we talked about, like the stealing of people's music or reducing sounds to just like a couple bar patterns or just kind of lame ass loops. Like I told y'all, we're in one of the worst eras of like sampling. There's some, to me, who's at the top of sampling is Dilla. Jay Dilla to me is a sample king. I would put behind him, what's that boy, the one that's always angry. It's that old school producer. You know which one, saying you always laugh at him.
Okay.
Him and Nas they was going back.
Oh, you talk about Pete Rock.
Pete Rock, yeah, I would put him second.
Pete Rock is a dope producer, definitely amazing.
Now,
yeah. No, you're right. Like people like him, Quick, a lot of them they don't get enough love that they should. But you also that a lot of AI is also copying off of our Detroit legend. That's
what I said, Jay Dilla.
Yeah,
Jay Dilla's number one to me for sampling.
No, he is number one in the lo-fi space, and he's number one in the AI space Because a lot of the AI does a lot of his stuff.
Remember the lo-fi, the whole community is built off of the backs of Dilla, aspects of Premier, and
that's
like we
because
talked about with Pete Rock as well.
It's because Dilla is so popular in the anime space too.
Yeah,
like there are a lot
very
of
popular in Japan.
There's a lot of people who use when they do the anime series and the music. A lot of them do their versions of Dilla.
Yeah, Dilla, right?
And it's crazy. After he passed away, he becomes this.
I know this like
mainstream, universal.
It's like a saint, like Coltrane.
Yes,
it's like Coltrane.
He's like the hip hop Coltrane because he becomes. I mean, he's big everywhere. People are using his stuff everywhere.
Yeah, if I recall, isn't Flying Lotus? Isn't he like John Coltrane's grandson? Y'all let me know in the chat if I recall correctly. But the other side of it, again, I'm speaking to the artistry. I don't know Quick from a bus stop, nigga. So I want to be clear. I don't want nobody to be like, you was caping for Quick and he had niggas beat my ass. Like, nigga, I don't know nothing that goes on when I'm talking about a fucking rapper, an artist. So please stop it. But because we've had that happen, we say this is what we like from artists, and somebody, it is what it is. All right, fine. But here's the thing, though. A part of it, though, to some degree, AI, the way they're doing AI is the mutated slow stepbrother of the ugly parts of rap, corporate rap culture. When people look, Lil Zane, look, it was fun. People danced in the club when you was little. You see the older girls talking about, hey, Lil Zane. But clearly, he was like a Nickelodeon Tupac. And Lil Zane sometimes will be in the interviews
what the fuck is a Nickelodeon Tupac?
He didn't really curse that much. On my enemies when I'm pouring Hennessy, riding through the breeze in my head out, sticking out, fuck all my enemies, all of that. It was too much Tupacism, but he was just like almost a little taller than Bow Wow, but he rhymed just like Tupac. So people kept like, "Yo, man, what you think about Zane?" I'd rather play Only God Can Judge Me. I mean, just give me the raw, uncensored shit. I don't want to, But I felt like Lil Zane was like if white parents let their white daughters listen to rap, but they couldn't listen to Tupac, they can listen to Zane. You get what I'm saying? And there's a lot of weird, cheap, hacky shit that goes on in rap like that.
We have a super chat and also read Brandy King comment afterwards as well.
Oh yeah, shouts out to. All right, the Cruel Guy says here a decent sampler who is really into AI is Hit Boy. Hit Boy. One thing I said about Hit Boy that he did very well during his run, and Pete Said remembers, because the Nas stands were so pretentious. I had made a joke. I said, yo, Hit Boy and Nas should do like 5 more albums together, right? And then they did that whole series in Magic and stuff. But he does have a unique way of sampling and making things seem contemporary and nostalgic at the same time. So that's a good talent that he has. Also, you said read Brandy Kane's comments. She says, total sidebar, check out the Womack sisters. Oh, yeah, I post them all the time. Shouts out to you, BK. Yeah, we was posting Womack sisters all up and down Patreon. They're really dope. Really dope. Sam Cooke's granddaughters, too. Yeah, real dope. But the only reason I'm bringing it up is there's a lot of cheap shit that does go on in rap. Look at the rap commentary space. It's a lot of cheap shit. It's superficial. It's not that deep.
I mean, it's really scary what's happening because they won't even.
Yeah, go ahead.
UMG won't even pay Angie Stone's family. Her royalties. They don't. Her writing. They didn't. UMG didn't even pay George Clinton.
Yeah.
So it's like the old way of the music industry. There's so. I want to know. There's almost over half of the artists, icons, legends, people in the game.
Right.
They didn't get paid, guys. I just want y'all to know that. So we're moving on into AI where UMG is stealing from artists while pretending they're playing good cop and bad cop at the exact same time. They're stealing from artists. They're still not paying people. And then now they're going in and partnering up and having trademarks with AI companies. I'm gonna be honest with you.
They ain't looking good, y'all.
It's not looking good.
It ain't looking good.
We also got another super chat, Prince.
Also, HM3 says, yeah, Lil Zane's Marietta ass got roasted by Ryan Cameron and was never heard of. He was from Marietta? I never knew that. I don't know why I thought that nigga was from Miami. Shouts out to you, HM3. Good information. Cruel Guy says, cheers. Mushroom coffee, sip, sip. Shouts out to
It's the Scorpio thing. You still on your mushroom coffee?
I got to get some more, actually. But yeah, so look, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and to Sin and I point, you know, I feel for the artists. I feel as an artist,
didn't get his
you know,
checks too. What was it from Death Row and
they said
UMG?
that the residuals were like 2 cents. That nigga got some big hits with. In fact, one of the real reasons why Tupac's musical legacy with his posthumous album got wrecked. I always used to argue with friends, why didn't they just get DJ Quick to produce a posthumous album for Tupac? Like Pac's Live.
They didn't want to pay him.
All them albums should have been produced by DJ Quick, because when you heard his tracks on there, it captured that sound. And he was from that fucking era, so he knows what would have sounded well. But they went with big names, and through Interscope, they had Tupac being produced by Eminem, and they tweaked Pac's vocals to say G Unit.
That was so horrible.
This is before AI. This is before AI. I want to be clear. They tweaked his vocals to say G Unit. Y'all,
Well, I mean,
this was before AI.
You're going to have a Tupac AI album coming out from UMG. It's going to happen.
They already done scraped his stems and his vocals.
It's going to happen.
You heard what SZA said. They done already ran through her unreleased shit.
Yeah. And look, they act like they don't got no power. That's why I can't mess with these industry people. I don't give a fuck about what they lie about, whether it's Rock Nation or this person or that person.
Yeah.
Y'all only have power to bully black people. Y'all don't got no fucking power. Y'all can't even protect people who signed under y'all when it comes to being exploited with their unreleased music getting fucking stolen. I mean, I don't got no time for these people.
Yeah.
People trying to rush in there, thirsty to get money and all this other stuff with this person, that person, whatever.
Let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell y'all something. Yo, y'all gotta understand. This is why, like, I have my mindset, like, I don't get all riled up about it. That's why everybody kept crying about the Drake shit. I said, nigga, watch out, man. Move around. There's been definitely worse shit. Okay? We picked apart the diss record just like we did Kendrick shit. We was having fun. But when people was like, this is the moral high ground, I said, no, it ain't, nigga. This shit at the bottom of the abyss. I don't know what the fuck you talking about, niggas. Like, this shit garbage.
No,
all right?
It is. No, it even garbage like people only talk about the Dr. Dre. You got to talk about everybody. And then also, no, it was actually garbage way before Drake. Drake was just, he's so popular that when this is where they're brilliant when it comes to how they manipulate people. They use Drake to try to also push AI while also undercutting Drake to push AI. That's the part of us bringing up BBL Drizzy. It's human. They're grooming the public. So people who said they hate AI when Drake did it with Taylor Made didn't have no issues with AI with the BBL Drizzy song. That's what we also brought up yesterday in our Patreon podcast, exclusively on the Patreon. They do like mental experiments like that on humans all the time.
Yeah. Also, let's put this on the screen real quick so y'all can see what we talking about. Yeah, I'm loyal to the game. The record was called Loyal to the Game. Look at this. Loyal to the Game G Unit Remix. Tupac does his voice, you know, what he says, now I've got to ask on a nigga's ass, tell me, will they blast me? So they go through the whole list, and then it's 50 Cent. He says, I do my thing, respect my hustle, I ain't playing, nigga, I'm loyal to the game. All right? Y'all remember that. I do my thing, nigga, I'm loyal to the game. And then here it is, outro, Pac. Says here, ha, yeah, Tupac's in this motherfucker. Tupac never said that shit. Tupac's in this motherfucker. Listen to this shit. Tupac's in this motherfucker. G Unit in this motherfucker house. Y'all don't understand. This is why I said it's so it's so some of the shit that people are online like blocking each other. Man, this shit was already wrecked.
No, yeah,
Bro, this shit was already wrecked. When you had soul singers come out and say, yo, y'all are stealing my shit, and you had the rappers responding to records saying, fuck you.
No, yeah. No, true. Also, with Udio, they got a lot of lawsuits with copyright, so you don't know if BBL Drizzy took from a soul singer or not. You don't know that.
It was trained on copyrighted material.
Yeah, because
it was
Udio got into lawsuits because it was training their AI with soul singers.
Yeah.
So no, the public was duped. It is what it is. You know, they played good cop, bad cop. The bad cop was Taylor Made. The good cop was BBL Drizzy. And now UMG is in partnership with Udio. So, you know, that's what they do all the time. You know, they make sure they put out multiple things at once so something will catch and that the media and the audience will bite on.
Yeah, that's it. You know, and look, I'm not saying that, you know, you can have your criticisms and complaints. I don't have a problem. I think Dr. Dre is more than capable of deservingly being criticized, you know. And okay. And you see that it becomes, you know, because overall, people say, well, it's dismissive. I say, of course it's dismissive. Niggas, he don't see y'all. I mean, not trying to be funny. That brown egghead shaped nigga, that nigga in the sky. All right, that nigga don't see an artist that like, yo, I'm standing on ethics and morals and principles and I'm gonna do it the right way. Hey man, them niggas getting stepped on. This is good though. This is good for people to see. Like, at the end of the day, folks, these people, they're in these country clubs as well.
Yeah, the execs, they're just really good with shaping culture.
That's
why if you become an addict to culture, you're not going to see when you're getting played. It's just very simple. They understand human psychology. You create an artificial villain and an artificial hero. Yeah. Push both of your Trojan horses through the villain and through the hero. At the time during the battle, at the beginning of the battle, you know, people were just waiting to see who was going to win. But sometime during the battle, Drake became the villain. Taylor Made, bad AI. BBL Drizzy, good, positive, is going against the villain. This is how people like Lucien and Jimmy Iovine, and even if you're talking about the think tanks that Charles Murray, you know, Dick Rides and talk about, they shape human identity based off of culture war and based off of Trojan horses with character archetypes. So if you are archetyped as the hero, even if a Trojan horse that is deadly to the society comes through, well, it's okay. Think about it. It's like a Marvel film. Iron Man is the hero no matter what people think about him, even though he created Ultron that killed the majority of genocide an entire fucking country of people. He's still a hero. Captain America, he's still the hero, even though he was... he said he was ignorant to it though, but still helping them. He helped some of the darkest agencies in the United States topple and kill and murder innocent people around the world. People who were truly heroes that you couldn't see. So people who are the hero is usually those who are seen. They have global visibility, right? People could say they're the hero. They are here to help us, even though there's Trojan horses and viruses within that hero that gets downloaded to society and it becomes a major problem. Just like for the same person who is coded as the villain. And sometimes it could change. Sometimes people think, oh, now the hero is the villain or the villain is the hero. The whole point is, though, these very simple boxes that we check off is why a lot of humans get into trouble. Because we believe in these type of titles so much that people don't ever think of you can get fucked over by the hero and the villain. So the whole point is the people who are behind stealing a lot of the artwork, they don't put their eggs in one basket, and they never do.
Yeah, so, you know, we're going to move to the next situation here. We got to talk about the original man, Raekwon, because I have made this post. and I put it on our community, and I saw, oh my God, it cut deeper. If Dr. Dre wasn't enough, Raekwon came outside. It was holding hands with Alex Karp. That cut so deep into the hip hop community. They were upset and furious.
This was very dangerous what Raekwon is doing. Somebody said that they know that Raekwon had moved to Canada for a short while because he was trying to make money there, and he lost out on a lot of money. He wasn't able to really build, and so Raekwon may be having money issues. Maybe that's why. Who knows? But to be over there, this is a guy who said white men are the number one attacked group in the United States.
You're speaking about Alex Karp, the funny-looking guy that he's walking around with.
Like Peter Thiel and the rest of them, they all believe that.
I do my thing.
And
Raekwon is loyal to the game.
You know what's crazy about it? You know, we did warn the hip hop community that the alt right and left, the alt left,
they're here.
They're gonna completely take over hip hop, and I mean, it wasn't impossible. It's an easy thing to do because people been sold out. So
and niggas need money.
You know, and remember, this is a company that have plans to be able to annihilate demographics of people if they wanted to. That's what they're working on.
So I want to show y'all something real quick. All right. So this is Raekwon with Alex Karp. And Alex Karp is he's overseeing Palantir. Now, Alex Karp is fiscally, financially, business-wise, spiritually, all in bed with Peter Thiel. Now, Alex Karp has several times been outside saying that, you know, the most underprotected class are young white men.
And who else said that, Prince? Elon Musk, Peter Thiel.
Yeah, all of these people.
Yarvin,
right?
Bill
Ackman, yeah.
Bill Ackman.
Yarvin is like a intellectual priest for a lot of these guys. Now, I want to show y'all something real quick. So, y'all notice Raekwon visits Palantir during Wu-Tang tour. All right? Cross-marketing. So, we get to market that Palantir is edgy. It's cool. This is a deeply rich, conscious black man, a pillar in the hip-hop community.
It's culture.
And Wu-Tang gets to market a tour. People say, what? Wu-Tang's on tour?
And I'm half black.
Right. There you go, right? I want to show y'all something about cultural pimping. Okay? So as you go down, you can see it on Twitter. If you're still using Facebook, it's on Threads. But why when I put Raekwon and Palantir into, let's go to some news. Look at that. Shows you how unimportant Raekwon is to the general population. Look at this. Now, you can find this shit all over social media where they know pretty much black and white hip hoppers will traffic. But if we're talking about the adults, let's go to Raekwon visits Palantir. Nothing. Because it's a twofold approach. Overall, they know that we're going to market this to the spaces where where we feel it's deemed important. But Raekwon, with his legacy being ruptured with something like this, is not important enough to be mentioned in the general news feed.
Well, this also shows like they don't believe in their communities because they don't believe in making their own when it comes to any of this new wave of technology. Yeah. They're joining establishments already.
This also shows you, and Sin is right, this also shows you just how much power Palantir actually has.
Meek Mill was begging them.
He said, I think I'm going to need to use Palantir for like 5 minutes. But kind of sounds suspect, but
he's getting passed around allegedly.
Why are you saying that?
He's a weird guy.
Now, mind you, a lot of rappers they've already been in these spaces. Yeah, y'all saying, wow. No, I want y'all to understand this is what Sid and I tell you guys about social engineering.
They're going to be in every school.
This is social engineering. It's all over Instagram, OK Player promoted. It's over Threads. It's everywhere else but the real world news. Nowhere. Nothing. And if you actually put in Palantir. It's actually it's a very controlled news feed. Shows you how much power Palantir actually has. Alex Carr, listen, take your break from your Kendrick and Drake debates and watch some interviews with Alex Carr. Kind of tells you openly on different podcasts what they're very excited to do.
He said he's the good cop, though, and that should be scary.
Yeah.
He said, man, they want to kill a lot of people, but I'm here to try to, say no. Maybe we could just slightly use it in a different way. But, yeah, white men are being attacked.
All right. Here with the original man. That's why I tell you, hip-hop
The original man is partnering up with someone who feels like white men are the number one most falsely accused group in the world. Interesting.
Palantir clan goes hard, not gonna lie. No, the reason why Sin and I we're showing you guys these things, we just want people to not have your head up these people's asses, y'all. You can like their music, you might have had a post or whatever, but understand these are men and women just like you are.
They're in hip hop media.
And you all more than likely don't even have the same pressures. Because they said that he visited Palantir in 2010. And now, Palantir is also looking to have a surveillance state on par with that of China.
And remember Blackwater, too. Don't forget about that guy.
Oh, yes.
What's his name? I'm forgetting his name right now. But he said if countries in the continent of Africa
can be recolonized.
Central America, South America. He said if you don't get your shit together, we will recolonize y'all. But y'all are the ones who's sucking up these people's resources.
I ain't talking about if y'all don't get it together and you got E. coli outbreaks over here.
But I also think he's talking about certain groups in the United States as well.
Of course he is. So
or is it something Prince?
It ain't me.
No, not you.
Fix that.
But I think the guy name may be Prince. I don't know.
So let me put this on the screen, beautiful. Orwell Day, shouts out to them. Palantir just released a new surveillance system that fuses satellites, radars, and every camera into one real-time tracker. All right? Now, remember, the original man, Wu-Tang, what they used to say, ODB, what he say? Guys, they watching us. They watching us. Yo, the police state, the Illuminati. Right? Yeah, Eric Prince. Shouts out to y'all, P. Blazer and Jen as well. Man, I ain't heard Eric Prince's name in a member.
Thank you, guys.
I remember you brought him up. He was definitely prominent.
Yeah.
Let's play this clip so y'all can see this real quick.
This is Maven Smart System, Palantir's software as a service product that we are deploying across the entire department. As you can see, it's not just one data feed, it's multiple.
I'm gonna let this. I'm gonna try it without the music because I don't know if that's copywritten. But I'll just say.
Good call, because I was about to say, damn, you trying to get all of our hard work sucked out of here.
No, but as you can see,
we're uploaded to the Patreon for y'all to see this one.
Massive surveillance system in real time, which has always been the goal. Again, I'm gonna say this, and I know this for a fact. I've talked to people, and there's some of the people they be in the chat as well. But you've had individuals. Remember, a lot of the technology, like when we looked at the Afghanistan war, what's going on with Iran, Iraq, a lot of times these areas are training ground. And then they bring that data concerning civilian life there or how they deal with humans, and they bring it here and they infuse it with the systems to monitor Chicago, right? They use it to monitor Atlanta. Atlanta is one of the most surveilled cities in the nation. This is why you got Cop City built not too far out this way.
Patriot Act 1 and 2, they were already quietly doing these things. Black sites.
Same thing, with New York, New Jersey, Los Angeles, right? So again, this is why I say a lot of times, Cindy and I were saying about y'all favorites, rappers, right? They're fully on board if they get a chance to have the golden carrot of becoming a billionaire.
All of them work with these people. And this is why we are tired of the dumbed down effect of hip hop media making it just about one person all day, just making it only about Kendrick or only about Drake, all that. As we said it before, we said almost any rapper you could think of, they be with Zionists, they be with anti-Zionists.
Yes.
They be with people pro-black. They be with people who are anti-black. They are walking around with everyone looking for where they're gonna make their money. They and like what were people surprised about? They make money with pedals as well. So you're gonna have to look within yourself. If you're looking for external validation through rappers or people who are famous to validate you as an individual, or if you're looking for a hero outside of yourself, you're gonna always lose.
Yeah. So with that being the case, and I did show you guys that you really don't have no mention of his visit anywhere because it's two things. He's not that important. I'm just being honest with you.
They're gonna try to say it's not real.
You know, well, it's everywhere. You know, so it's definitely real.
No, it was AI generated. It was AI generated. What are you talking about?
He said, and he was on a Wu-Tang tour. So, and also they don't want to feed the conversation. Actually, it's kind of a bit of an experiment because if there's no real pushback behind this, then we can kind of go with a bigger name. You're going to see Meek Mill touring around there. You know, shit. Tory Lanez may make some promises. Yeah, I'll tour in that bitch. Get me out of here. Like, I'm telling you all, y'all don't understand that, you know, when you get to a certain space of money or you have certain pressures of life because you've acquired these level of bills too, by the way. I don't know Raekwon's finances, right? But there's a pressuring to try to stay in the class tier because you don't want to drop down to the lower class, you know, even if you've been out of it for 30 plus years, you know. And remember, hip hop at the beginning, it was started by young people. Like we talking about, you know, from the 10 and 11-year-olds breakdancing in the street to, you know, people that are 16, 17, and 18, and they become millionaires by 22. So they went through their money, they blew everything, especially back then. You know, Kendrick, Drake, Cole, Wale, Big Sean, them, even Rhapsody, them having careers 12 and 15 years today, that was unheard of back then. Man, them niggas 2, 3, 5 years. Shit, Tupac was outside on death row for 8 months and he got killed. You get what I'm saying? Biggie didn't have a long run. You get what I'm saying? So that's how they spent their money a lot of times. Well, today a lot of them have become older men. A lot of them are grandfathers, right? And now I got to think differently. Now I got to, you know, make moves. And so here comes Alex Karp popping up and down in the chair talking about white men are the original men. White men need to be protected. And so the original man is over there.
No, yeah, and also society, I actually agree with you. Like Raekwon used to smoke crack and also sell drugs. What do you expect? That's the problem with the hip-hop media. They expect everything. Like, even with the hypocrisy, someone saying you're the original God body man was also selling you things to poison your body. That's hip-hop. I mean, I don't know what else to say with the rap music industry, but in hip-hop, all these people are heroes. People be getting their heart hurt by Kodak Black. When he said he ain't want no dark bitch, I said he looked like a gremlin. I mean, dude, look like I give a fuck what a Kodak Black gotta fucking say. But in hip hop media, and we are hip hop media to a large degree as well, but we don't worship these people. We don't have a thing where like, oh my God, Charlamagne, he hurt me. I worship Charlamagne. Never did. That's why I also find it interesting. Like everybody who's going up against Rock Nation right now, y'all were fans of some of the most of a lot of the representation of Rock Nation. Many of y'all rub the nuts of Charlamagne, like I worship him, or you are a worshiper, Jay-Z or whatever. So I mean, like Rock Nation taking advantage of licks who worship them. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, people don't have a boundary where they're like, I like your art or you was funny at times, but I like myself more. And unfortunately, there is a low self-esteem energy with a lot of people. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, I agree, you know, with society of people being shocked by all of this for what?
Hey man, listen, y'all. They go up into Silicon Valley. They start doing acid with these boys too. In fact, a lot of their peddlers, a lot of them been suppliers for these boys. What did Snoop Dogg say when he was younger? Bro, I was providing Cameron Diaz the weed. I was a dope dealer. Like, we assume because we're black that you don't have no white people in your neighborhood or you don't be in white neighborhoods. Dog, it don't work like that in the entertainment industry. It don't work like that in the corporate industry. Everybody parties with everybody. This shit look like a circus. It looked like it's the other side of prison. You see in prison, everybody, the Aryans run, everybody in general population with each other. That's what it's like in corporate elitist America too. They just put on suits. Cause you got it, because they told you that Bill Gates was professional. Bill Gates is a weirdo. He eats poop meat.
He do.
We can wrap that up. Let me let y'all hear who the original man is running with.
You need a higher purpose, and I also think you often need a lower purpose. Like the higher purpose for me.
What's a lower purpose?
Well, I love the idea of getting a drone and having light fentanyl laced urine spraying on analysts who tried to screw us. So that's my lower purpose.
This is what I'm saying, y'all. And think about it. Now, he sound crazier than ODB. All right? It's the same energy. That's what I keep telling you. The same energy is the same energy.
He said what? They said, Mr. Seki, rewind that again for them. The lower purpose
Let y'all hear this one more time.
Is Moloch.
Now, they told ODB's dark-skinned ass that he's a crazy black nigga. But here we go. Let's hear
and real quick, for y'all who don't know, we've posted this on our Patreon. Come join the Patreon. We talked about these type of things were actually used against protesters in India, and also the children of in Gaza.
Yeah, I'm gonna run this back to y'all, show y'all who the original man is running with. All right,
you need a higher purpose, and I also think you often need a lower purpose. Like the higher purpose for me.
What's a lower purpose?
Well, I love the idea of getting a drone and having light fentanyl laced urine spraying on analysts who tried to screw us. So that's my lower purpose.
Mind you, he's worth over $9 billion too, by the way.
And, and others. But the higher purpose for me was to get this nation to be the preeminent power in the world.
Also, keep in mind, his mother is an activist who was for pro-black studies.
I was about to get into that, but we can jump into that.
And his father is a Jewish doctor.
Yeah.
That is who Alex come from. His mother wrote papers about how anti-blackness destroy black children.
Lynchings and racism. Alex Karp's mother, Leah Janes Karp. Okay, and let's see if I can find it. Robert Joseph Karp. Again, I mean, look, a lot of y'all favorites run with a lot of these people behind the scenes. Just like homeboys up there allowing him to say that because he's worth over $9 billion. All right.
Also, thank you, Victory for the Victory Status for the super chat. Why they screen black men out of tech jobs here?
Yeah, it's because you can have somebody like that talking about pouring piss on people's head. That's why, nigga, they don't want to see y'all. That's why we say you should be encouraged to do your own thing. You know, appreciate independency while you have the opportunity here. All right. But like stated, Alex Karp's mother, Leah Karp, you know, she wrote a lot of these wonderful poems about racism around her era, the lynchings, and, you know, he actually says in his book, because I read his book, because I said I need to know who this guy is, he talked about resenting those things, resenting that his mother and father came together as some sort of social proclamation of racial progress.
He hated the fact his mother was woke.
He hated the fact that they both were a quote-unquote woke interracial coupling. Okay, and it's one
Or
of the
Alex
reasons
Carp
why.
was like, man, get me out of this bullshit.
Yeah.
I want the money.
He
and
wants the money,
power.
which is why he pulled up with Peter Thiel here, because Peter Thiel has his own hangups. That's what I said. Not trying to be funny, but I would definitely, if you guys read as much as you can on these types of guys. We told you guys about Joseph Vault. We told you guys about early on. We told y'all when Trump was first running for president. We said you guys should pay attention to Steve Bannon. All right, but Alex Karp is a very slinky, spirited type person that has, said in his autobiography he grew up resenting the idea that they were quote unquote this woke interracial couple.
Basically, he's a hateful hippie.
There you go, a hateful happy hippie. Brags about having two women living in different states. That's one of the things he was talking about. He talks about there's a lot of shit that he like. He does like rap. He likes rock. He likes a lot of different shit. But at the end of the day, it's a fringe culture, and they are very excited about what they're looking to do with civilians. And like Sin brought up eloquently early on, Alex Karp has been on record. You heard what he said about spraying piss on people, but he has said several times, I'm one of the good guys. Actually, there's people behind me that want to do a lot more.
Yeah, he said there's people who are ready. He said for all the Muslims who are mad at me out there, I actually stopped them from actually killing y'all because they was going to put your DNA in this and that. And I said, wait a minute, that's just going way too far.
Okay.
But he wants to use fentanyl, piss, no Diddy.
The original man.
To spray on people.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I'm sure he'll get to hang around a lot longer than Lauryn Hill did. You get what I'm saying? So, look, the rap, that's what we said at this point in time, where hip-hop has aged into, what it has aged into. It's become an old hater, and it really don't care about the youth. You get what I'm saying? I think that's why I said tonight, we said, no, there's a deeper spirited conversation surrounding what Jay-Z represents as hip-hop has aged and what it has become. So Jay-Z with Roger Goodell is no different than Raekwon with Alex Karp, or Dr. Dre running with the Silicon Valley tech enthusiasts.
Jimmy Iovine.
And Jimmy Iovine, ladies and gentlemen. So, look, it is what it is. Like we tell you guys, enjoy the art, have fun, but it's not what y'all think it is. Those principles and how it was marketed. Remember, them records dropped, in some cases, 30 years ago. Them people didn't. Everybody changes their mind every day. Them people are not the same or even if they were that 30 years ago, they are not that. So, that's that. Look for more information concerning Alex Karp. I think we're going to be seeing more rappers walk through the halls of Palantir, because it's rebranding, or trying to market Palantir, the idea, the concept, especially to hip hop, because they want black people to seem like they're part of this. And
I could try to also flip it, but I'm not. But I feel like some of them are gullible, and they feel like sometimes this does apply, but sometimes it doesn't. Raekwon and the rest of them, even beyond just the money, some of them think, oh, well, I want to be a representation in there, because if we're not seen, then we can't be heard in this hateful pyramid scheme. But the thing is that y'all are beggars. I can't trust in that. We talked to Dr. Scott. Y'all said y'all wanted to do that play with Trump. Y'all didn't do nothing. Dr. Scott told us all the black people in the industry was telling Trump, I'm low IQ, I'm dumb, poor black man. Can you please give me some money, Trump? I said, oh my God.
No, and Dr. Scott did talk about that.
And certain activists pretending to be against Trump right now, they were begging for money behind the scenes too.
Yes.
I don't have time for these people. I just don't.
Yeah, so, again, Raekwon is in there as a rapper. He's not in there as an engineer. So I don't even buy into that notion like, well, if we're not in the room. No, you're coming in as a rapper. No, that would be the extent of your service for them.
I think because black people for us, and I don't speak for all black people because I hate when people say they speak for all black people. But I think for some of us, I get it that culturally a lot of us have been everything. We've had black scientists historically who were also artists, especially a lot of them who were in science but also did jazz, jazz musicians and all that. Or in the military, and
Go ahead,
we're also
Sam.
scientists and different things like that.
Yeah.
But I think we have to just come to the realization that people in mainstream hip hop, they're just not that. And you're going to have to go directly to the black engineers, directly to black people who are into technology. Yeah. Like, stop trying to look for things that are pretty and popular.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a fuck what a rapper has to say? Stop also thinking that one of these rappers are going to be the one. None of them are our saviors. Not one of them. And you also going to have a healthy boundary of liking people art and their music and stuff without becoming a groupie to them or trying to make excuses for them or trying to be a part of their PR team or whatever. Just tell the truth and go look for smart black people who aren't clout chasing, who aren't fighting for attention, who aren't hyper competitive in the black community, but become docile, subservient people when it comes to other groups, but they're hyper competitive with you. You're going to have to find just people outside of this space.
Yeah, so again, I appreciate, Raekwon's visibility standing next to Alex Carp. It makes my job easier. That way we don't have to deal with people who say, I don't believe you, man, nigga, you a hater. Fuck y'all, dumb southern niggas, right? No, it's the reality of it, and it's cool. I think it's a very realistic. I like to know what I'm dealing with, and I think I'm going to say specifically black folks. I think a lot of black people with these rappers, most of the times, half the times at the very least, they don't know what they're dealing with. It's good that Dr. Dre said what he said. It's great that Raekwon was seen holding hands with Alex Carp, who has went on record and said the most underprotected citizen in America is our young white man, standing next to the original man. So I think it's perfect because that way you guys can take on the responsibility of building real communities amongst yourself. These millionaires, and in some cases a few black billionaires, if that's the case, they are not a part of your community. Your community is when you step right outside or when you network with people online that you can meet up or y'all can do business and commerce in person.
Someone in the chat said, don't go chasing waterfalls.
Yeah.
Every time you run after Jay-Z or Dr. Dre thinking they're going to be the one to change the system, you're chasing a fucking waterfall. And that waterfall can lead to your death.
Well, I mean,
you don't know your relationship. They Project 2025, Heritage Foundation, Jeffrey Epstein in the Epstein file saying black children need to be experimented on because they're too dumb. Yeah. So while you chasing waterfalls, you're not even strengthening your own fort with people who live right across the street from you or right next door. You're trying to look on the internet and magically think that, oh my God, this person's going to do it for me.
Hey,
you don't even fucking know this person.
KJ said, new mixtape from Raekwon, Purple Piss. I love it, man. I think this is great, man. I hope more of these people, I hope you guys are able to see more of what Sin and I have seen and told you guys about, all right? And I mean, from the billionaire that was dog walking, I think, my honest opinion, her black slave, her black eunuch, she was dog walking him, calling him the N-word. And Sin and I, we could see that there was nothing that he felt he could say back. And he didn't have the power to say anything. Not when the CIA is escorting your children to the school every day. Good luck, niggas.
I mean, we keep telling you about this story. Yeah, just so people who don't know, there's this black billionaire through marriage. He has billions of dollars, and he's married to a woman who
is a billionaire heiress. Yeah,
billionaire family. They got a lot of money.
A lot of money. Yeah.
So he was trying to work on a project with somebody that we know, and in the background, the woman called him ER. Shut up, you stupid ER. He has a child with this woman. This woman, their children is protected by CIA agents, FBI agents.
They escort them to school. That's how much.
This biracial young girl is at a very wealthy school.
It ain't Jay Electronica. Go ahead, see.
But
It
her
ain't that
father is being called the N-word. That is what is taking place. Remember that billionaire or Italian who was also calling Alicia Keys the N-word behind the scenes, allegedly? There was a story that came out.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot more than
I'm
that.
like, and people, it's like what Granville said, or even the conversation we have with Steve Simmons, but Greenville was like, sometimes y'all are a little bit grumpy because, you know, there's certain things y'all don't want to deal with, and rightfully so. Yeah, but sometimes the audience or people don't know that because they still believe in these people. These people get called ERs all the time by Jewish billionaires, by white billionaires, by Italian billionaires. I mean, they don't have the power that some people think they have, and they're not running shit, which is why they can't do shit for you.
Well, I want to put this on the screen. We're going to put this on the screen real quick. Let me get this out of here. Man, these little ads are crazy. Stop showing this ad. Goes. All right, so let me put this on the screen for y'all so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Then we're about to transition here, getting to this conversation here. All right, so what Sin is talking about is, let's see here. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, let me find it, because again, we talked about this. Okay, here it is. Jesus Christ, man. So many ads. All right, so NYC socialite allegedly can say the N-word since she's Alicia Keys' friend. Now, she's a billionaire's wife. Former chef also alleges that Lisa Falcones called his girlfriend call me Willie Falcone. All right, called his girlfriend a chocolate-covered marshmallow and doesn't understand why that's offensive. She doesn't care. It's not that she doesn't understand. Like I hate when people phrase it like they need to be taught. No, they don't care. Lisa Falcone, or Lisa Falcone, whose husband is a billionaire hedge fund manager, reportedly told her former personal chef that she could use the N-word because her black friend Alicia Keys would be okay with it.
And also, just to also state this, it doesn't even mean that these people have to be evil people. It's just that you have to learn that they're powerless. It doesn't mean you're powerless. They are powerless. So, all of their money is tied up into these people. Yeah. They get smart in the mouth. For what? Boom. All their money starts to dissolve like it never existed. They monopoly. They can make people have a lot of money, and within the blink of an eye, they can figure out a reason why these people have no money. And because these people are addicted to the money, this is what it is. Prince had a positive engagement with Switz as a kid.
Yeah, with Swizz Beatz, I did.
Yeah, he gave you and your brother some money to get on the bus to go home, and that was a nice, genuine human
Swizz Beatz,
interaction.
just to say this, I'm gonna tell. I ain't gonna tell the whole story, but I'll just say that, you know. And again, I don't know if Alicia Keys was okay with this or not. Listen, I don't know. All I know is that the husband, the billionaire hedge fund manager, reportedly told her personal chef that she could use the N-word because her black friend is Alicia Keys and she would be okay with that. Now, at the time, when I was a little teenage boy, me and my brother were two little nappy-headed teenage boys, Swizz Beatz was cool. You know, it took a minute for my little brother to process who the hell he was. And he was like, oh, that's the guy that be in the video with DMX. Cool. You know, and Swizz Beatz, he was like, he gave us the number. My little brother lost it, all right? But he lost the number, but it was whatever. But anyway, he was nice, very personable. Wasn't a weirdo when I met him or nothing like that. He wasn't funny. He wasn't looking like he was kidnapping. So your brother
messed up you being it with Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Damn, Prince could have been bullheaded with Rough Riders or Fro, whichever one he's gonna ride. Yo, guys, y'all hear the chat? Prince almost was with
Let's get it on.
So you would have been in some music videos with DMX.
With DMX and Young One, Young Dumb. Shawty, I come straight out the ATL 404. That's how Young One's rapping. Tear it up. Dun, 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 right? But again, I don't know what the hell happens when people get in them spaces. All I know is that, again, I don't know if this is true that Alicia Keys is cool with her white billionaire friend saying the N-word, right? All we know is what Sin and I saw just in the space, and the billionaires talk to people like they want to.
Well, Kiddo Hart said they would have called you DMX Jr.
That's that nigga's son? Nah, that ain't that nigga's son. All right, but yeah, so at the time, when we was children, Swiss Beats was real cool. He was telling us, and I forget what artist he was promoting at the time, but he gave us a free CD. He said y'all could check him out. Tell me what y'all think, all this other stuff. So he was real cool. So this though goes to the bigger point, the conversation with Sin and I saying about how the billionaires, it's like altered carbon. It's this space that they say whatever they want. And what Sid and I saw, this brother was a black man. And to hear this billionaire going off, and she told him, there's nothing you can do about it. I was like, that's crazy. Because I told y'all the story about this one big old fat hefty white girl cursing this black guy out. And she was calling him the N-word. And she said, there's nothing you can do about it. And I just thought when that lady said that, I just thought that was sorry. That's the only difference. This woman's got billions of dollars to make this nigga disappear.
But going back to the white billionaires who was talking to this black man.
Yes.
They were on drugs too.
They were.
You know how only people make
I've
fun
been so many places.
of Andrew Gillum?
Yes.
Andrew Drillum.
Drillum.
Which he is a fuck up. But these bitches are fuck ups too.
Oh, she was zooted. She was zooted.
They both, it was a blonde and a brunette. Tweaking.
She was tweaking, y'all.
Shaking. Drugged up.
And he was like, come on, baby, don't say that. Why you talk to me like that? Why you talk to me like that?
But it was funny because one time he did say, wait a minute. Is someone on the phone?
Who's there?
He talked like Tony Bugsby. It's like, damn, a black guy who talks like Tony Bugsby.
Who's there? I know. I got the technology. Who's on the phone?
When his voice was like Tony Bugsby, I was like, I know you do be getting called the N-word. That's just confirmed.
Did you record me getting called the N-word? The CIA escorts my children. Who's there? There you go right there. Billionaire's wife, this is what she looks like, claims she can use the N-word because she knows Alicia Keys. Hey, man, listen, all of the gangster hit 'em up spaces that these rappers talk, or some of these celebrities, even the black actors that kind of get out of line. Like I had Idris Elba on watch when he said we don't need to do any more woke shit with James Bond.
Yeah, y'all lost Idris Elba. He was doing all that woke shit, and then he got knighted.
I don't think we need to do any of the woke stuff.
He's like, my family, we're good. Yeah, we've been knighted.
I think if we're going to make James Bond black, let's just make him black.
Now, all of a sudden, Idris' whole talking points are different.
I think Tyler Perry is coonery buffoonery. The white make him black. Yeah, so it is. No, I know. E Dizzle said, "Bro, it's a dog." We telling y'all, like we're being very transparent, y'all. It's not what y'all think. So that's why sometimes, like, when Lupe got out of line, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Y'all trying to kiss these people's asses. These people breaking.
Lupe try to make it seem like the fans get people killed. Like, Lupe, stop it. Nigga. You from the industry. You know who get people killed.
Y'all know who popped. All
you know, even when we talk about the journalists who are problematic as well. But before we even get to the journalists, y'all industry niggas know who get people killed. And it is not the fucking fans.
Dog, we not over
It is not the fans that get people killed.
Nigga, we are
Some
not.
black cars that get people killed.
You ain't making no cheeseburgers with pancakes. Stop it. All right.
A nigga working at Burger King talking shit on social media get people killed. Yeah. All right, sure. Yeah. They got that much power to get an industry person killed. All right.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. That's why, like, you know, just in general, we had the brother Yuckmouth pop up. We had Keith Stanfield pop up in the chat. You got a lot of different people that pop up in the chat. They know what's up. They know. They've been in the rooms. They've seen it. They went to different floors, and y'all know who really runs this shit. So that's why a lot of times, if we just doing culture shit, I always preference, well, if we talking about the music, let's just talk about the music. But if y'all get on some moral bullying shit, well, hold on now. We know who really run this thing. All right. So with Dr. Dre coming out, like we said, I think it's a perfect stock option for a lot of the people that act like Alex Karp, that like to quote unquote spray piss on different people that criticize him. I'm sure they're going to be able to use Dr. Dre's iconography to further market their technology, whether it sells or not, more than likely not. And the same thing where you see the original man, Raekwon, walking through the hallways with Alex Karp, who says the most unprotected class in America are young white men. I think it's an incredible American culture.
You know what? You're right. Young white men are not protected from Michael Caruso. No, you know what? You may have a point there.
Mike Caruso.
Michael Caruso. You're right. or Sandusky.
Sandusky.
Yeah, well, that would be young white, black, and Hispanic young men would not be safe from Sandusky.
Yeah. But we go further into these things on our Patreon, the lizard eye people, because this lady got a lizard face to me.
Also, Dom says also from Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. Dom's talked about also the black fishing because she says she feels the chef is black fishing with some of the surgery.
There's a whole conversation, even in the adult entertainment.
She looked like she's trying to turn into Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
She's trying to turn.
I keep on sucking.
She's trying to turn to a biracial woman.
Out of you. Right. But it happens everywhere. The black fishing is happening. That's all everywhere. You get what I'm saying? But I will say, the more y'all see any more black rappers walk through them Palantir hallways, you definitely need to pay attention to your local laws concerning Palantir.
And we got a one that we're gonna do on Peter Thiel, man. This guy is crazy.
It's just a piece of work.
Now we remember, guys, years ago for our day ones, y'all remember us talking about transhumanism and genetic splicing and all that.
Yes.
Peter Thiel has already made it known he thinks being trans is level 1. Like that's like, who cares? He said it's not ambitious enough. He said we need to go all the way into modifying human genetics. Now, some of these tech bros are doing it on themselves and ended up with weird diseases. So, with biohacking, I'm just going to tell y'all right now, especially in the early stages, if any of y'all take any biohacking pills or any of those things, do not. They are going to kill you. And whatever you're dealing with, they're going to make it worse. Okay? A lot of the tech bros die themselves because they sometimes they're so retarded they believe in their own scam and then end up dying. So just keep that in mind. Just want people to know that as well. Or even, did y'all hear also Grok said that Elon was a pedo and that he should be assassinated? It's on the Patreon as well. Grok threatened Elon's life again. And
I told you that was a slave.
Now, for the people who were on Be More and I's astrology stream every Friday, before Grok said he was going to assassinate Elon, what did I say about Elon's chart? That's on the Patreon. Yeah. Y'all go check it out.
Yeah, no, that's a good call, Sid. Transhumanism is what Sin is speaking about. Transhumanism is coined by Julian Huxley. You may have heard of his brother, Aldous Huxley.
In what book?
All right. A Brave New World. Okay. And, these people, this is where you even get the concept of, okay, you see how people are talking about, because they do this in every era, in every generation. So we hear it in our era because we're the ones living it. It sounds crazy. Transhumanism has been promulgated and promoted even occultically for hundreds of years. All right. So with Julian Huxley, who his philosophy was a lot more aggressive than Aldous Aldous Huxley was like in his book A Brave New World. He made it artsy. This is what we're hoping and looking to do. Julian would be like, "Bitch, this is what we're doing right now.
And
we're
some of
doing
it
this
goes
shit."
into the pod babies,
Right?
just for people who don't know.
So,
some of the
go
darker
ahead.
themes in the Brave New World is about
Yeah.
from your birth in the pod. They'll say, okay, these set of children are going to be prostitutes.
Yeah.
To that nasty stuff.
Yeah.
These set of kids are going to be in the military. These set of kids are going to be this. So they assign the pod babies.
Yeah, they talk about this.
The division that they're going to be in.
It's the ultimate form of resourcefulness of the vessel. Is what you saw aspects of it in the outworld of the Matrix when the machines were going through and picking the humans out like it was cotton.
That they allegedly was stolen from Sophia, allegedly a black woman. And then also, I'm glad you brought that up because certain baby pods, this is gruesome, but certain pod babies are born just for their organs to be collected.
Well,
and just
you
for an
have
energy
those
source.
things.
They're not even assigned anything.
You're having that right now in one of the largest countries in the East. You guys can put it together. You can go online and read about it. There, in this world, there are, now we are getting into aspects of Patreon talk, but I'll just leave it as this. Even now, you have situations, because remember, Stranger Things, we are in the upside of the world. We may see crazy shit, but overall, the average human being, they're not having no ties to the underworld anywhere. Even with the internet, the bulk of the internet is the dark web. So with that being the case,
you're just dealing with the consequences of the actions of the people
in the dark world
who are in these niches. No, that's a great point. Most people, because we keep being in disbelief, most of us do not hang around a Peter Thiel or those type of weirdos.
Well,
so
yeah.
y'all don't understand. It's a whole grown culture of them that are running things and influencing policies and bills. You're only dealing with the consequences of those things.
So I want y'all to, you can go online and look it up. I'll put some more of it on our Patreon. I had to write this down as a note too, by the way. But there's a whole slave class. Their only existence is for their organs to be harvested. Mm-hmm. We barely talk about the trafficking in the other you-know-what, because we're on YouTube. I want to be clear. But there is, globally, if you think about the Jiffy Mix files, one of the things that came to light that nobody talked about, but I heard it when I was a kid, not saying we heard it from the Jiffy Mix, but you used to hear like, sometimes when you was a kid, you like old crazy niggas with the Shababa hats walking around, and they be like, the body will tell you like, yo man, you gotta be paying attention to young blood, like they harvesting little niggas, right? But then you see things that come out in the Jiffy Mix files, and they talked about cadavers or adults or children being groomed or being grown for their organs to be harvested for millionaires and billionaires who, because
and
every
scientific
experience, but also, like I said, every institutional industry has a black circuit to it. The hospital, the medical industry, there's a black underworld to it.
Yeah,
education,
if you don't have a big family or you don't have like, they are very hesitant to do it with people who have a lot of people who know them or family, because they know they could get in trouble. But if you like a homeless person, you don't have nobody to vouch for you when they ask you all these questions stuff, you definitely could be
well, absolutely
on the list. Although they do prefer fresh.
They grow their stuff.
They prefer fresh, and then also to the point what Prince and I are talking about. Okay, Dennis Prager said he's okay with AI child pornography. What do you think eventually that leads to? He says it's a victimless crime. Then they eventually are going to say, well, we grew babies in tubes. They're not really real babies.
Yeah.
They're somewhat real, but we grew the babies like a farm. So if someone wants to mess with them, I mean, it's a victimless crime.
It's like I told you guys, we all enjoy sci-fi. And again,
sci-fi could turn into horror.
Before they called it sci-fi, it was these tales, these These tales that were passed down from generation to generation, whether it was in Africa, whether it was in South America, humans have been passing these tales down. The creation of the genre that we know as sci-fi, a lot of it has to do with promoting eugenics talking points. All right. And there are things they did steal from black authors, even with the late, great Octavia Butler. There are Zora Neale Hurston. Yes, they stole these concepts and weaponized them as well to further promote their philosophies that are in their white papers concerning the general public. This is why a lot of times people by default through sci-fi have been programmed to say things like, yes, we do need to kill 99% of the people on the planet. I told you guys a story when I was in
control.
PC, population
Which
control.
Bill Gates was the main pusher of of doing that whole nonsense.
And he's only following in line of the Huxley family. Folks, they were
population control.
Yeah, look at this here.
Nonsense, yeah.
Thomas Henry Huxley, Leonard, look at this here. Thomas Henry Huxley, Leonard Huxley, Aldous Huxley, Andrew Huxley, Julia Huxley. Then we get into the Wells, J.P. Wells, H.G. Wells, so forth and so on. But these people had a very, very dark mindset, all right? And a lot of the things that you're seeing promoted in what we call culture today, and that's beyond hip-hop. And we're just talking about across the board. Most of it is going to be anti-human anyway. This is why people have been programmed to say, well, I think, we should kill all humans and only let dogs and cats live, right? Or
the ones who advocated never kill themselves.
You got to jump in the river too.
Actually, you got to jump in it first.
Because you put it out there.
That's your stupid idea. I agree. I believe everybody who has their own great, unique idea, they should perform it first.
Yeah, look up the Huxley family. And you can kind of see what you're seeing with Peter Thiel and all it. That's nothing new.
Misters also, you got it right. That's why they try to program, and they did it successfully at first. They programmed Elon as a hero archetype. He was Iron Man,
right?
And they gave him a transcendence feel, and they made him a good guy. So that's why I said, look, the media. You got to remember what Malcolm X said. Malcolm X said the media can make an innocent man look guilty and a guilty man look innocent. You should never trust nothing that you see. Everything should be quadruple researched. Even everything we say, research it, because there can always be human error. Everything you see, you have to fucking research.
You gotta be inquisitive.
You gotta research. You can't just take things as at face value, because they use the fact that everybody's busy. Look, there's 24 hours in a day, and most of us got shit to do. We got a lot of things to do in life, and they use that against people. Because when we just like, okay, let me read this book real quick. Oh, let me see what's going on in the news real quick. They use that to make us, in short, impulsive decision making, go against people who could possibly be innocent.
Also, Victory Status says, I'm at my wit's end for being screened. Shouts out to, we appreciate you. The reason why I'm bringing up the Huxley family, because if you understand what you're seeing with Peter Thiel, what you saw with Cass Sunstein, what you saw with Zbigniew Brzezinski, Henry Kissinger. I mean, you can go through all of the dark mind think tank warriors, right? And most of it's pretty much the same philosophy, depopulation, anti-humanism, rampant mass Satanism. That means selfishness. I'm not talking about with the horns, the devil Bible. I'm just talking about the sense of selfishness, right down to sex. What do some of the guys say? Oh, I got mine, she better get hers, right? The girls say, I got mine, he better get his. There's extenuating circumstances surrounding variations of selfishness. That's really what culture is. Just variation circumstances surrounding selfishness. How selfish am I, right? And the more selfish I am, the higher that I could possibly get if they show me a Dr. Dre, if they show me an Elon Musk, because that's all the same thing too, right? Worship of self in a negative sense of selfishness, not the inner self of true enlightenment, your whole I can achieve, I can become skilled, I can always relearn, I can master myself, self-mastery. They give you selfishness over self-mastery. So with that being the case, like Sin stated, when they rolled out with Elon Musk at the very beginning, I said to myself, early on when they tried to make him look like Tony Stark, I said, well, that guy ain't to be trusted. Why you got him trying to look like a comic book character? I mean, but you'll be surprised how fast shit works. I had grown men arguing with me like, no, man, Elon's a genius, man. They calling him the Tony Starks. I said, nigga, where's his iron suit? Where's his war machine? God forbid, where's his Ultron, right? So that's why sci-fi is very important. I'm not saying you can't enjoy it, but at least you can take a look into the celebrated properties. If you want to be honest, majority of even the newer sci-fi is just remakes of A Brave New World. That's it. That's really all it is. It's remakes of A Brave New World. And they like to reinstitutionalize those theories for a reason. So, it can bleed out in y'all conversations. It can show up in y'all podcasts. You can promote it yourself. So anything you're seeing right now is nothing new under the sun. These guys just have this way of technology of doing it. They have social media. Back then for them, it was their literature. It was their books. They had their council, the Committee of 300, Trilateral Commission, all of this shit that Alex Jones ended up hijacking and wrecking in the process. Just because he did that, these things have always existed before him. You get what I'm saying? So it's just the same old thing. And to be honest with y'all, world global governance or trying to unite under a one world, baby, that's been going on since Sumeria and Rome. They've been trying to do this for a long, long time. This time around, they want to sell you as a participant. But because they have a system of mediocrity and they keep elevating dumbasses, this is why you run into a situation with Meta. $800 billion down the drain. You get what I'm saying? So that's why overall when Sin and I talk about what we say with aspects of culture, we say, hey, buddy, calm down. When they screaming about Kendrick and Drake, nigga, calm down. Trust me, there are way more important people on the list.
Prince had to turn down my mic because Moon was trying to talk on the mic.
Oh, yeah.
We are very lucky that Zuckerberg and the rest of them are mediocre.
Very mediocre.
But you don't know how much time you're going to have with people who are buffoons who keep revealing what is supposed to happen because they're really not the people who create the technology. Also, some of this technology can be used for good. But let me tell you why it's not. If you keep seeing the originators who are saying, I want my technology to be used for good, keep getting killed.
That's a sign.
Like the MIT professors and all that. That's a good red flag letting you know they're not going to do any of that. If you were going to do that, you would stop killing the scientists who actually want to do that and stop stealing their inventions. So obviously, when you see people like Sam Altman and Elon Musk and all these people as the face of things, that's 100% indicator that they're not going to be using any of this for good. They're going to be using it for the worst case Elysium scenarios.
Yeah, so just a little bit of this information so you guys can get an idea. Like, what do I keep telling you all about the technology of social media? The internet is technology, but so is social media. That's why, look, if Julian Huxley and Artist and Andrew and if they had this shit today, oh man, please, they'd be running victory laps. The only thing that we're blessed with is, even though it's fucked up what they're doing, but half these people are dumbasses. That's why there is a dark hand behind the Democrat Party as well as the Republican Party, because look, hey man, them motherfuckers look like the Monstars walking into the White House after they won that 2024 shit, but they kept crashing into each other. After a while, you're like, hey, man, this administration, this is a bunch of crash test dummies. But yet and still, somehow the blue Crips, the Democrats, can't get it right because they're paid not to get right. That's when like, oh, shit, this really is a dark hand back here.
That's why I say to the real scientists and inventors out there, keep quiet with what you're trying to do. until the time is right. Keep in mind, a lot of your competitors have already made great relationships with the dark agencies of the U.S. government, and this is why a lot of y'all do get harmed. So y'all have to be really quiet with what you're doing.
Be very careful.
Be very careful. Be very careful.
So, just to let you guys know, we're going to, kind of put that out there. And then let's get into...
Is there anything else? I thought that was the last topic.
Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony, what happened with... can you post the audio that they found out, which confirmed one of the streams we did and the people who called in? This is what I was trying to tell one person who was commenting under our videos, is that... It was shown that these two white boys were racist. They have a racist history of being bullies at their school.
Yeah, no, Sin is right about that. I'm gonna run this clip here when it's about the update. Texas judge says no new trial for teen Carmelo Anthony.
And the judge was removed though.
Texas judge.
Oh wait, go back. Say that again, Sin.
We'll go to this one first. Go ahead.
All right.
Overnight, a Texas judge denied a teenager's request for a new trial in a high-profile murder case that's divided the small community. 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony was convicted of stabbing and killing a rival student athlete at a track meet last year and sentenced to 35 years in prison.
Get out of the roadway, you're going to jail!
Protests erupted in June after Anthony was found guilty of murdering 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet. The teen got into a fight with Metcalf after he entered the opposing team's tent during the meet. Metcalf died in his twin brother's arms.
He started getting aggressive and talking reckless, and my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." And he's like, "Make me move."
During the trial, the defense made a so-called gentleman's agreement with prosecutors to only focus on what happened underneath that tent at the track meet. At the heart of the new motion for a retrial, the prosecution argued allegations including that the victim and his brother engaged in racist and violent behavior and that Anthony sent his girlfriend threatening texts were excluded from the jury. But some of that evidence surfaced just this week.
I don't think it's stunning to anybody who's watched any part of this trial that the truth is a lot more complicated than we originally thought.
Someone's child is in the grave and another person's child is facing 35 years. There are no winners.
Now, the new defense team said they disagree with this ruling and the denial does not end their case. The defense is now waiting for a decision from the Texas Fifth Court of Appeals.
All right, so we're going to get to this other information that Sin has sent me concerning Carmelo Anthony. Sin, if you have any thoughts on that, you can go ahead. I'm going to pull up this information for us.
Also, let me go to the brother who's on X who said people kept stealing his Carmelo Anthony the stuff that he was putting out there.
Who said this, Sin?
I'm about to look for him real quick and give him a quick shout out. And also, what's his name from Texas who had Carmelo Anthony's parents on his show? I can't believe I'm forgetting his name right now. Willie D. Okay. Shout out to him for having the family on his show. The parents on his show. That was a good look for them to people to see the severity of what's happening, since a lot of people have been very immature with reports on that family. So good on him for doing that.
There's black youth involved, so they're going to be immature. Anybody else, they're going to try to have some decorum, but especially if they get to play the race game.
Also, real quick, let me I'll find the audio for you. Just give me a moment and I'll send it to you again.
All right then, Sin. Okay. So it looks like here also was it OK Magazine, Sin? Let's see. All right. So anyway, as you can see right now, for the ongoing litigations concerning Carmelo Anthony, as they stated, no new trial. So we'll see where they go from here with it. Of course, this is still floating in the news, the rounds as well, with the Xavier Nolan situation out in Mississippi. And some of the coverage I've seen is kind of a little bit interesting. I think if you're around that age, especially like if you're 17, 18, 15 to 18, your brain doesn't fully start completely develop until like you're 25. In some cases, frontal lobe as well. So you put those situations out there, and tempers will fly, heads, decisions will be made. One thing I found that was interesting is that the whole gentleman's agreement about nothing else is to be discussed or considered concerning the trial with Karmelo Anthony, and that they're just going to focus about what happened under the tent. Which is interesting because we know a lot of times in situations, especially if it's social circles that you routinely convene, how many of you all have gotten into a fight with somebody that y'all have had static previously that day, that hour, or that week? So I thought that was interesting that they didn't want to have. I think because the character development or character testing wouldn't be as favorable. And the reason why you can't really throw it off or dismiss it, because the father came out and was talking about chicken and watermelon. And so
he's a racist piece of shit. I just sent you also.
Oh, thank you, Sam. You
the
found
video.
it?
Yeah, I found it.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Yeah, they've revealed that this is a family of racists.
Yeah.
I mean, also Austin had an extremely violent history, a violent racist history, and I think the gentleman agreement was a dumb one. Why would you agree not to put out information that
so we can make it fair,
that shows why Karmelo may have felt like his life was at risk?
Let's see here. I'm going to play this. Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all can hear it.
Howard testified that the defense learned that there were more than 53 incidents involving Austin and Hunter Metcalf in which they're accused of fighting, assaulting other students, and using racial slurs against black students. He also testified that in a couple of cases they were accused of assaulting young women, and that teachers had complained that sometimes they were making derogatory comments towards teachers. And Howard said that some of those...
Now listen to that. They said assaulting young women. Now, what is gentlemen like in agreeing to keeping that information out of the conversation? How is that? Where is it? How's that gentleman like? All right, that sounds like to me a setup. Okay,
it was a setup.
That was a setup. We're not going to talk about nothing else. Well, her audio's pretty low, so I hope you guys can hear. You guys can hear the audio.
I sent you another one, too, after hers.
All right.
If you want to play one that has a higher
audio.
Okay,
I'll do that then, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys can hear. I'm going to let this play.
And using racial slurs against black students. He also testified that in a couple of cases they were accused of assaulting young women, and that teachers had complained that sometimes they were making derogatory comments towards teachers. And Howard said that some of those incidents went all the way back for years and showed a history and a pattern of violence and aggressive behavior on the part of Hunter and Austin Metcalf.
Of course. I'm not trying to be funny. The boy had a bad face to me. He looked like, I'm just keeping it. I told Sam, I said, come on.
He do have a badass face.
And I've been in Frisco, Texas. Them boys that look like that, it is what it is. I know, people dead and everything, so I'm going to move on forward.
You can play the other audio.
Yeah, I don't have nothing nice to say. All right, let me play the other audio. Thank you so much, Sam, for sending me this. Let's go ahead and get into, this is a good one. Good Lord. All right, then. So we're about to play this one, and y'all let me know if y'all can hear this audio.
Now, there's in this motion for a new trial, the background reports are being released, and the defense is going first, releasing 20 pages now of Austin Metcalf's behavioral history. Karmelo Anthony was dressed in a suit and tie for this morning's hearing, which began with the defense arguing that efforts by the trial judge and prosecutors to combat threats and deal with disruptions actually prevented Anthony from getting an open and fair trial. But bombshell testimony came this afternoon from Anthony's trial attorney, Mike Howard, about Austin Metcalf's background report that was never presented to the jury. CBS News Texas has also learned new details about Austin Metcalf's background. Metcalf and his brother Hunter were once caught spray painting graffiti, including KKK Kill All Blacks and Heil Hitler, along with the N-word, and were sentenced to 12 months of juvenile probation. Records reveal they reportedly told authorities, "We did some dumb stuff. We did some vandalism." There are several documented instances of Austin using racial slurs in school, and in 2023, Austin was accused of bullying a black student in class. In 2018, while still in elementary school, Austin and his brother were accused of bullying and assaulting a female, which led to his arrest. During an argument in 2024 with another female student, Austin allegedly knocked her to the ground and punched her in the stomach. He was also kicked out of a football game and texted someone later, "I was about to beat the expletive out of those kids." At a previous track meet, when another student alerted Austin that someone not on their team, quote, "behind our bench was talking wild," Austin reportedly replied, "Kill that MF." During the 2023-2024 school year, he received in-school suspension twice. School disciplinary records from April 2022 to May 2024 reveal that Austin reportedly called a teacher the B word and used profanity. He told a school official that he couldn't control it and wasn't aware that it was coming out of his mouth. In 2024, on at least 5 occasions, Austin saw a counselor regarding his anger and rage during a football game. In 2021, he got banned from attending basketball games for a season after yelling profanity at a player. Metcalf also got suspended after he and another student were talking about bringing a gun to school the following day.
Also, a person who's been really keeping up with the Karmelo Anthony story has been Dennis Byron. So Dennis Byron, y'all make sure y'all check him out when you get a chance.
I'm gonna be honest with you, saying, sweetie, I don't have nothing to say.
I don't have nothing to say either.
You know, I mean,
it's just to show you, like, again, rushing to say this young man was guilty without everything being looked into is just crazy.
Well, the reason why I don't think I'll just do it from this angle. You guys got to understand about demonism, you know, and the idea of demonic exercise. It doesn't matter if Karmelo Anthony was guilty or not. These are people whose ancestors were lynching innocent black people. They just want to see a black body swing. They wanted to see strange fruit in real life. And what you saw with this Karmelo Anthony lynching here, they just wanted to hang a black person. That's it. And people got to understand that when you're dealing with demonic energy, some demons, there is no reason. We can understand that when we're watching Batman and Heath Ledger's running through burning up money, right? That's all you got out of this. They don't care that this information is out there. They got their nut off is that he went down. The blacks. You see Anna talking about somebody said a mean comment to me when George Floyd died on the internet.
But you're alive, bitch, and he's dead. What the fuck you
my
making?
Feelings.
You making it about you.
That's why a lot of times.
Also,
you know,
DJ Vad is getting cooked now because he entered the Gaza, Israel, Palestine conversation, and he said Israel and the Jews, we were here before the Palestinians. So he's starting to get cooked now.
At least he's distracted. Good. Now Vlad is distracted. So keep going.
He's trying to get that big money.
Hey man, let him do his thing. Let his guys get beat online. Yeah, I just wanted to tell y'all that, you know, if you are spiritually attuned to anything that your grandmama and granddaddy were spiritually attuned to, you can see a bad face when you see one. I didn't see that with Karmelo Anthony. Now, I know what happened up under that tent, but I know genetically, bro, you can, if you guys kind of look at most bullies, they like, it's almost epigenetic. They kind of evolve. Like 50 Cent got a hard face. There's no way him growing up, you would say, oh yeah, if 50 told you, yeah, I was getting bullied in school,
he was getting bullied when he was fat and young, though. He got bullied by his family members because he was a young fat kid. And Ray J got a spoiled kid face. That's how you knew he grew up in the middle class, because you could tell he got like a little brat face.
I'm talking about out in the streets.
No, not as a grown man. I mean, as a grown man, he
that's what
defended
I'm
himself.
talking about.
But when he was young and fat, he talked about getting bullied by
He probably
his cousins.
needed to lose some weight.
I mean, he did, and then got it back later. But yeah,
50 was out in them streets since he was like 13, really getting money. My point is that, look, them people saw the same shit y'all saw. The only difference is that they were playing for their side, whiteness. And again, there's been plenty of innocent black people that have been lynched in this country. So
Khalif Browder.
Yeah, like it people gotta understand, when there's a level of fear, which hate emanates from, when there's a fear there, the approach to you is going to be irrational. You know, you may try to say, well, you know, we're humans. No, you got to have some defense, because at this point, like, you're a monster. There's nothing reasonable there. But yeah, not surprised. They played in people's face, and they got off when they saw the boy go down. They saw what happened to Carmelo Anthony, and they got a double nut because the father got to come out and start talking about watermelon and all this other stuff.
Why would y'all ever trust that motherfucker? Yeah, a gentleman's agreement with your kid's life.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Ain't no gentleman's agreement. You going down, and my kid getting off.
Well, here's his lawyer. Let's pull his lawyer up, because to me,
a
lot of softback energy. You know, a lot of softback energy. Let's talk about this here. Cause he gonna go home. It's nothing to him. All right, let's play this real quick.
What kind of lawyer do you want? Do you want an aggressive junkyard dog who's going to fight for you hard, or do you want somebody who has a reputation as, you know, easy to get along with?
Folks, that's his lawyer. He said, do y'all want an aggressive junkyard dog with a reputation? Yes. O.J. Simpson had several of them. Yes.
Yes.
They're trying to put me in prison. Yes.
Get me out of here.
I want Thanos to be fighting for me. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right?
The answer might surprise you. While, of course, it's important to have somebody who fights for your rights and stands up for you, if they are that aggressive junkyard dog, the risk can be that they end up being obnoxious or offensive to judges, to prosecutors.
Now listen to that. This is his lawyer. It's obnoxious and offensive you're trying to interrupt my freedom with imprisonment. That's what's obnoxious and annoying. You know, but this is what Sid and I talked about. This is all dark world energy. This was a young man that was sacrificed for paychecks and reputation. That's really what happened. He got carved up like a turkey. So when they sit up here and they say this, like, this energy here that I'm going to stand and fight for you, and you got to deal with that. Bad lawyer. He said, who's going to be offensive to the judge?
Bear look like it stink.
I mean, what are we talking about? So, and then that's where the gentleman's agreement came from. That's why he shook that. That's why he made that bad oath. When he did that oath, he sold his client up the river. Because all of that stuff should have been taken into consideration, that them two boys was running around here like some Roman bastards. You get what I'm saying? But it is what it is. This was his lawyer, and so now information is coming out, which they are enjoying once again because they like it. You know, it's a hate thing there. Whether it was George Floyd, Carmelo Anthony, Xavier Nolan. If you notice, all of it don't matter what's going on. These black people are always on the wrong side of it, you know. So we're going to see where it goes from here, what course will be taken. But we always just tell you guys, as a rule of thumb for you and your family, be observant. You know, if you have children, you know, make sure they're being educated. If you have a little brother, little sister, make sure they're being educated. If you have friends, husbands, wives, girlfriends, whatever it is that you're doing, y'all make sure y'all look out for each other and make sure y'all continue to educate each other. But you can still walk with fearlessness in this process and make some things happen as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I recently did get a chance to post the last stream that Be More and Sin did do for Friday recently. where they did a breakdown of the Goetia. They talked about Solomon's Ring. It's a very interesting stream. And then, of course, Sin and B More had their great debate of Professor Xavier and Captain America. Were they good guys or villains? All right, boys and girls. On that note, folks, we're going to be getting up out of here. We love you guys so much. You can subscribe to our Patreon because we always upload in more things. We're going to have some more stuff we'll be uploading this week. We appreciate you all so much. You guys take care. We are out. Peace.
Peace.
Thought crimes. Thought crimes.
Coming through your airwaves on right now. I'm here to kick the ballistics. Check out Thought Crimes. Are you following me? Coming through your airways. Coming through your airways. You ain't gonna get me with that one.